Alrighty, welcome to the City of Glass. I am your host and DM AJ. We have an all-star cast of absolute superstar live roleplay guys, and they have a host of very interesting characters with crazy background stories. So we'll start off with Matt. Would you like to tell us about your character?
Yeah, sure thing. So I'm Matt, and I'm going to be playing Vracdorim Dardendrian, but it is perfectly acceptable to call him Vrac. He won't get angry, I promise. And he is a gold dragonborn monk of the Order of Ash. He's sort of slight for one of his kind, but slight for a dragonborn means that he's about the same size as a human man, so he's still fairly tall and bulky. But he has a sort of litheness about him that makes you think that he might be a little bit more dexterous than the rest of his kinfolk. As I said, he's a gold dragonborn, so he has these golden scales that they've sort of lost their shimmer over the years after being blasted by the sand-laced wind of the desert and beaten on by the harsh sun. So he's definitely not as glorious looking as he was in his youth, but he's aged fairly gracefully. He has these long, sort of scaly tendrils coming off the back of his head about down to the small of his back that sort of look like dreadlocks, and he's prone to sort of tie him up hastily if he needs to keep him out of his way. And he also has these sort of leathery frills on the side of his face that normally lay flat, but if he gets angered or excited, they tend to furl up like that dinosaur from Jurassic Park that kills Newman. And he's carrying a spear on his back. He is opt to use it for a like a walking stick, but he's also he'll throw it if the occasion calls for it. And his two most prized possessions are the twin butterfly swords with the bone hilts that he has sort of sheathed at the small of his back, sort of crisscrossing over each other. And I actually have a picture of him here that I'll screen share really quick. There we go. So that's what Vrac looks like there.
Cool.
All right. So yeah,
Nice.
That's Vrac.
Thanks. Okay, Paul, would you like to tell us about your character?
Sure. So my name is Paul, and I'll be playing Ayondar Sahib, and he is a warrior of the lamp, so to speak. He comes from a jungle in the far off side of the desert, where he works as a slaver after the disappearance of his father, and he does so to support his mother. So he's a human. He's quite young, 24 years old, 5'6", dark tan skin, black short wavy hair, and he has a small frame about him. That's about it.
Cool. So he comes from the Bloodbath jungle, and what's the city that he comes from there?
He comes from the city of Razan.
Razan, which is famous for its lustful and chaotic and sort of constant dark Mardi Gras nature. Nice. Excellent. Okay. You're with us here, Chippy.
I am indeed with you.
Cool. What's your character?
I'm playing Jaren. She is a female dwarf rogue who is rather a disgruntled genius. She has an intelligence of like 17 or 18, something like that, and is quite known for investigation skills. However, due to being female and for also lacking a lot of tact, having a almost sociopathic-like nature, she couldn't get any work as a scholar, so she ended up opening a business, doing something what is the medieval equivalent to a Hooters. Although she calls it a genuine establishment, many people in the underworld called it a brothel, or accused it of being a brothel.
Right.
She has a smoker voice and has a taste for younger women, which may or may not impede her ability to protect women, which is why she opened her establishment originally. But long story short, the cults burned down her inn, stole her latest love interest, and kidnapped one of the girls she rescued from slavery. Needless to say, they're going to die. And she has a nail. What's that noise? She has a wooden plank from her old bar with a nail sticking out of it, with the name of the love interest that they killed, Clara, written right there on its side. And she wants to smash it into the head of the cultists.
Excellent. All right. And we have Andrew.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm Andrew Knapp, aka SR2 Joker, and tonight I will be playing Feng Ling, the half-elf monk. So he's part of a monastery tradition called the Keepers of the Wind, which are basically tasked with battling evil elemental spirits. He's currently on a quest to go into the desert to look for something known as the Hosing cactus, which is a rare plant that grows every several years and actually blossoms. So, as part of this whole enlightenment training he's doing, he must be like the cactus and go on a quest so he can blossom. In appearance, he's about 6 feet tall, a bald head, very monastic looking. On the back, he has black braided hair. He uses a staff called a wind staff, which is a quarter staff that actually has wind chimes attached to the end of it. So when he attacks with it, you can actually hear the wind chimes going off.
Cool.
As far as anything else, there's one other item of note. He has a glass bottle that's been capped with a bronze plate that hangs around his neck like a pendant. And inside the bottle is actually swirling storm. You can see like a black cloud and lightning flickering around inside of it, and that's the symbol of his monastic order.
Awesome. Must take them a long time to master the art of bonsai storm making.
Oh, you have no idea, man. Lifelong endeavor.
Excellent. We will probably be joined later on by another player. He is currently hot on the road, burning rubber to get here in order to join us. Probably rolling up a character whilst at the wheel of his car, which I don't recommend. But yeah, such is the dedication of the hardcore gamers. All right, so we start our adventure with basically you guys have left your guide, who has left you at the desert's edge, and all of the guides on the events page for this, I described what your guide said to you just as he was leaving, saying that no amount of gold will take them further into the heart of the desert, because it just gets hotter and hotter in there, and prescribed, it's got a lethal reputation for a reason. There are no oases. It is dotted with creatures which will take their sustenance, their sole form of sustenance, through predation. So, generally speaking, you don't go in there without a very good reason. However, there is the legend of the fabled city of glass, and this place exports these glass creations. They show up very rarely in markets around the desert's edge as it slowly encroaches its way across the world. This planet that you're on is ancient and bedecked with many, many ruins which have been buried by this encroaching desert, which works its way around the globe as the giant Saturn-like ring around the planet slowly moves in a strange orbit around this planet as well. There are twin moons on either side of the planet that generally don't occupy the sky at the same time. When they do, though, disaster is sure to fall, and you have all sorts of incidents of two-headed calves and crops failing and milk turning sour for no reason, that sort of thing. So you have tracked your cultists across your home territory and approach the edge of the desert, all pretty much coincidentally at the same time, whether this is the will of the moons or the fates or just basically a handy plot device for me, none shall know. And you have never met each other before, so this meeting with each other as you start to move into the desert is quite unexpected. And I will leave it up to you seasoned role players to narrate your encounter.
Okay, so approaching, you guys can probably hear the wind chimes going off on my staff because the wind's picking up. I'm also going to be using my elemental attunement to make like little like dust eddies swirl around my feet every 10 seconds as I walk by. So it'll be like kind of a crazy image approaching you.
I would say if I as I hear the wind chimes, I sort of perk up and the flaps on the side of my head sort of flutter a little bit. And at first I think, well, I'm just hearing things on the wind, and then I look and I see you approaching, and I have my spear in my hand and I sort of stick it sort of firmly in the sand and I leave it standing there in front of me, and there's this red sort of bit of cloth that's fluttering in the wind as I leave it there, and I reach back and I put one hand on one of the bone hilts of my butterfly swords, and I say, "That will be close enough."
I'll stop in my steps and I lift up my rice hat slightly so you can actually see my eyes, and I say, "Greetings, traveler. What brings you out here into the wastes?"
I am looking for someone.
Aren't we all? Who is it that you're looking for? Could it by chance be the cultists?
And as you say that, I kind of like get this look on my face and I say, "Why, yes. How would you know that?"
I've been hot on one of their trails for about 3 days and it's led me here. The winds tell me secrets, and I believe they've head down into that ravine.
I ease my hand off the hilt of my sword and I say, "Well, then perhaps we should go investigate together."
It would be wise, strength in numbers.
Indeed. I'm Vrak of the Order of Ash.
Order of Ash, is that a monastic order?
It is.
You look like you're attuned with the elements yourself, my friend. I'm also of the monkly caste. My name is Ling. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, venerable sir, and I give you a little bit of a bow.
I incline my head and I say, "Likewise." And you get the sense that this is the most I've talked in a while.
I kind of like look, make my eyes around the horizon here. Would I see the other two members of the party coming down also?
So as you look around the horizon, as you start to at the edge of this valley, which is going down into the heart of the deep desert, you hear a pounding in the ground, and over a ridge, a figure comes leaping into view, obviously being chased by something hot on his heels, and the the figure of Leonda comes leaping into view, and shortly after, a pair of creatures hot on his heels, which, I mean, you're all familiar with what rust monsters look like. A pair of rust monsters are chasing this guy, and he sees you and immediately makes a beeline for the nearest humanoids with weapons that he can find.
Sure. So not only in his dash will he have maybe stumbled, maybe fumbled, he'll try to toss his gear over towards the other two, lightening himself up as he unsheaths his shamshir. The light just kind of shines right off of it, and he holds out his right hand that has a silvery, while human, an odd kind of silvery color to it. Are you going to help me with these things?
Yeah, he looks like he's wearing a silver gauntlet that seems very form-fitting to his hand, but upon closer examination, you'll see that it is actually his hand.
So, we're all sort of familiar with what rust monsters are in this desert. Would we have encountered them before?
Certainly not. You've never encountered a rust monster before. You've heard of them, and their reputation. But it's not a creature that you would normally encounter unless you were in the heart of the desert itself.
Right. So seeing them, I initially go for the blades at my back, and then I sort of ease my hands off, like, oh, nope, can't do that. And I sort of wave him over and start moving towards him to try to put myself between the rust monsters and him.
Sure.
I'll do the same, and I'm gonna make special note of the fact I unclipped the wind chimes and put them in my pocket.
Nice. Shepe, Jaren is currently riding a what essentially looks like a lizard-like tauntaun, and comes pounding in from the other direction, completely not expecting to see this melee about to start in front of her. And so with the creature pulls up short, not wanting to get anywhere near these things, and your character goes pummeling forward, flying off the seat off the back of this thing, and lands with a oof in the sand.
She gets buried under the sand, right? You see like a little plump bump of a dwarf.
Okay, so give me an initiative roll, guys. We'll just start off directly into combat.
Oh, hello, small number.
I just want to say, if it gets cold, I'm cutting that thing open and sleeping in it.
I'd help you.
I got a 20.
Nice.
7 for me.
7. Yes.
I'd like to say that I'm a little bit just sort of off my game now that the desert has become so crowded when I've been traveling by myself for probably weeks at this point. And all of a sudden there's like 5 people. I'm just like, what?
Well, I'm a 7 because I'm currently having my head plopped under the sand. My graceful entry.
Alright, sorry, I'm just marking my little. I've got a little magnetic marker here thingy. Matt, what was your score? Sorry.
7.
7. Okay. Andrew's on 20. Shepe. And Paul, what did you get?
19. I typed it out.
Cool, thank you. Oh, so you did. And our little rust monsters get. Ooh, nice. Okay. Okay, so Andrew, you get to go first.
Alright, cool. So the way I'm moving at this thing, so I move very much like a Shaolin monk might from the old cinema. Like I'm skipping foot to foot in really long strides with my hands down at my side. And when I close in on the closest rust monster, I hold my now quarterstaff, since I've removed the wind chimes, above my head and just go for a strike with it with my first attack. Which is actually a natural 20 crit. Rolls are in tonight.
Excellent.
Okay, so that's going to be 12 plus. Alright, that's going to be 15 damage on that. So bringing this thing down, I just drill it, and off of that, I raise it again, go in for a second attack with the quarterstaff, which is going to be a modified 22. I imagine that's a hit on a rust monster.
It is, yes.
Okay, that one is going to be 6 damage. And then letting out a little bit of like a whoop, like a ooh, I'm going to spin around and actually do a backhand with my bonus attack, which is an unarmed strike. And that one will be a 16 versus AC.
That also hits.
Oh, nice. And that'll be for 4 damage.
4. Okay. Just what reminded me what the first amount of damage was? Sorry, I'm just adding it up as I go.
What was it? I think it was 15.
Okay. That sounds good, right?
Yeah, it was a crit.
So this creature backs up somewhat under the torrent of blows. It's not used to fighting anything with such a ferocious attack.
You know, I just pause too with like my hand out, like I've just done like some kind of wushu move or something, and just hold the pose.
Right. So the amulet around your neck with the storm in a bottle, is that a metal necklace?
The yes, the chain is metal, and actually the cap is fully bronze.
Right. Okay. So its beady little eyes are fixated on that, and its antennae are twitching forward. It looks like it's going to go for it. As we move on to Paul.
So, after dashing over to these strangers who are now helping me fight, with my shamshir out, unaware of what these creatures' capabilities, I'm going to hunch forward and dash towards my enemy, attempting to do a drawing cut, horizontal drawing cut across the carapace of the enemy, and then using my action surge to then reverse the blade and do a drawing cut in the same motion, the same horizontal, same area.
Okay. Best of luck.
19 plus 6, 25 for the first blow.
Yep.
So that's 5, and then due to dueling, I get an extra 2. So that's 7.
Okay. Is this a magical weapon? Does it have a bonus to hit or anything?
No, it's dueling, because I am not using another weapon in my other hand.
I'm just in regards to whether it's rusting every time you hit. So it's going to be reducing its...
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be reducing its attack roll to hit these things every time it strikes.
So he has no idea of their capabilities, so he's just going to go again.
Right. As the blade's edge is rusting away.
So what's the negative to...
It's a -1 every time after every hit, so it'll be -1, -2, -3.
15 plus 6 minus 1. So that's 20?
Yep, so that's 3 strikes.
No, that's just 2.
Oh, 2, sorry, okay.
Yeah. 4 and... yeah, 7. Nope, I got the wrong again because that extra 2. 9.
9.
So, and he is going to stand back, probably astonished that his blade, his precious blade, is now rusting in his hand as he slashes at his enemies.
As you look at it, it's literally sizzling, and the edge is shearing away. So, what was the total damage on that? Are you going for the one that was already attacked, or are you going for the second one?
The one that's closest to me. So. I'm assuming the one that was already attacked since he had...
Sure. Okay.
What is it?
And what was the total damage then?
And the first attack, or the second attack was 9, and I think the first one was 5. I'm not quite sure on that. But.
All right. Good stuff. Okay. So the creature is... it looks like it's out of plates and things on it. So it's got these large segmented plates on its back, and they've been cracked by the monk's assault. And then you have dug your sword in and torn some of them free, which leaves it horribly exposed along its slightly furry back, which means that the next attacks will probably be lethal. Hello, kitty. Nice work. Okay, the monsters now do their work. So the creature backing away doesn't get its little opportunity attack against Andrew's amulet. It has decided that it just wants to get out of here as quickly as possible. It's the slightly larger one beside it steps across, scuttling sideways like a crab. Its antenna pushed out in front of it in a defensive pattern as it protects its mate, the egg carrier, and slashes its antlers, its antennae around. They're feathery and light and appear to be relatively harmless. But as it brushes across, and the DM reaches for some dice. It manages to brush across Matt. Matt, does your character have any exposed metal on him?
I actually don't. I've got. I'm wearing sort of just simple cloth garments, and both of my blades are sheathed at my back, so they're in their scabbards.
Okay. So, using its ferrous scent, it will tell that there's nothing on you. So it lunges in for a bite, and that is a 16 to hit.
I managed to avoid it. AC 17.
Nice. So a boot lands on its face and it scuttles backwards. And we move on to Matt. You may now take your turn.
Okay, so this rust monster has just sort of tried to take a bite out of me, and I let loose this growl from sort of low in my chest, and the flaps on the side of my head sort of spring up a little bit, and I pound my fists together, and these flames sort of lick at my fingers, and it's sort of so hot out in the desert that the flames don't show up too much, but there's just sort of this heat shimmering off of them, and I'm going to sort of tuck and roll into a somersault and come up out of the somersault and land 2 punches on the rust monster. Hopefully. Awesome. We'll see how it goes. So, first attack is a 21 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and that's going to be 9 damage on the first hit.
Okay.
And the second attack is 22.
Nice.
And that's going to be 10 damage on that hit.
Ooh.
And then I'm going to go ahead and spend a key point and do a d10's worth of fire damage using my Fangs of the Fire Snake discipline.
Excellent.
Oh, man, and I do 10 damage, fire damage.
Ooh.
So I just kind of like tuck, roll, come out, and just like sink 2 punches into this thing, and as I'm punching, it's like firebender, like just gouts of flame are sort of emitting from my fists as I land them on this thing. And then I come up, and I'm going to use my bonus action here and do my my third unarmed attack and bring both fists down on top of it.
Whoa.
And that is a 15 to hit?
Yes.
Awesome. 5 damage on that one.
Wow.
Man, okay, so monks are good in 5th edition, apparently.
So you've actually, under that torrent of assaults, that rust monster, you've pounded its back plate so heavily that it's knocked the creature out. It's actually inert on the ground with its antenna flat on either side of it, with its face actually planted into the sand itself. The partner of this creature scuttles forwards and grabs its back leg and starts to pathetically pull it backwards, dragging it across the sand as Chepe steps forward.
By steps, you mean like crawl, like emerging from the sand. You know the beach commercials where like a girl like and like her hair flaps in the sunrise. You see that, but with sand and this pudgy dwarf, elderly dwarf, just sand flying everywhere from the hair. And you see in that exact moment she draws a bow toward it as well and launches an arrow at it. Short bow.
Okay.
That is a 9 to hit, so it no doubt misses.
Sails overhead slightly. Fire off, a small scarab dies.
A little embarrassed, she uses her bonus action to hide back in the sand.
Okay. No problem. Right, so that's the end of the first round, and it's somewhat devastating for the rust monsters. So they are going to try and flee. Being natural creatures, they're not bloodthirsty killers. They're really opportunistic scavengers. And they will try to run at their top speed of 40 feet at a round, dashing away, so they can attain a maximum speed of about 40, was it 80? Double speed. So they take off. They're heading down into the valley itself, and you notice the sand down there is taking on a reddish tinge as they make their way into the iron-rich soils of their home. What would you like to do? Andrew, it is your turn.
I'll kind of hold my staff out horizontally and say, I think we should let them retreat. It would be bad karma to kill a foe like this.
Karma.
Yeah, and I'll kind of like nod in agreement, and I say, there is no honor in fighting an opponent that has already surrendered. And I'm sort of shaking my fist to put the fire out.
Stub it out on the soil.
Yeah.
So
It starts turning into glass around your fist as you stick it in.
So I'm going to raise my eyebrow at that remark, though. There's no goodwill or to killing an enemy that's fleeing. Just raise an eyebrow as I look over my blade and attempt to pull out my whetstone and try and fix the rust, clean it off.
I want to walk over to Paul's blade while he's doing that and use my mending cantrip on it, Master Miyagi style.
Oh,
nice.
Nice. So you guys take a short break in the sand as the rust monsters beat a hasty retreat back to their desert home. If they could, they'd yipe like wounded dogs. But they don't. They just clatter and somewhat. And the two-leg comes wandering over to sniff at the back of the dwarven lady, somewhat apologetically for having thrown her several feet into the sand, and also searching for a treat. As the monk settles down, hunkers down into a lotus position, and grabs the blade, and his hands vibrate and move as arcane energy warps the metal back into a semblance of shape. It's somewhat lighter, but otherwise now fine.
Iondar is just going to stare at this blade. I'm going to stare at it amazed at the sheer fact that it's just been instantly fixed. How did you do this? Just really in awe.
Not only fixed, it now has a rippling pattern along the blade, Damascus steel style.
Ooh.
Yeah, as I hand it back, I just say, the elements are kind to those who heed their wishes. Praise Chan.
And he's going to take his blade, drop my pack. Well, the pack's already been dropped, but go over it, grab some water. After that kind of a fight.
Right.
Jaren is just patting. What was the name of the creature? I forgot.
So, two-leg.
Two-leg. She was patting her two-leg on the head, kind of apologetically, and then smacking it on the nose.
Nice. Okay. So it is still morning, but the sun is slowly climbing up into the sky, and the sun is literally beating up at you off the soil, off the sand, which is heating up below your feet.
We should probably find shelter, friends. I wouldn't want to see you die out here. That's how I usually catch them. And yeah.
Nice.
Possibly look for an area that seems shaded, maybe a dune that's overcast, something of the nature that's we can get out of the heat.
Well, this early in the morning, down in the valley below, there is a shadow which goes halfway across the valley. So it would be somewhat cooler to walk in the lee. Is it the lee? The shadowy part of the valley.
Yeah, I go back over to where I've left my spear sort of stuck standing in the sand, and I go and pluck it out of the sand, and I point with the end of it towards that shadow, and I say, we can seek shelter there.
Indeed.
You have
The
a good
shadows
eye.
will be safe.
And I look to the three of you and I say, seems not coincidence so many people meeting in the middle of the desert. Are we all seeking the same thing?
I kind of turn with Vrac and give them a look, and I'm going to use my attunement to put like lightning bolts in front of my eyes so it looks like I'm inquisiting with the elements.
Raiden style.
Raiden style. So, well, your character is hunting a cult known as the Reapers. They fashion themselves after the Grim Reaper. They carry scythes, blades, things like that. And the cult leader that you killed was a sort of a lich-like character. He was on his way to being a lich. He was engaged in a lich transformative process, which would have taken him many decades to slowly change his form. The others have been hunting after slightly different cults that don't seem to be related in any way. So you guys can come up with the flavor of your cults as you see fit and just describe them in character.
I say I am hunting members of a cult that seek to use fire as a means to destroy. Fire is the purest form of creation and recreation, and they are using it for vile purposes. I am here to ensure that they do not use it to harm others. I've been sent by my order to do so. Are you not seeking this cult as well?
Jaren has not said a word to these guys, and they're just talking to me. and she just looks at you straight in the face. Her eyes are moving slightly as if she's been thinking, and that your words kind of jarred her out of her thought process, and she seems kind of annoyed by that.
Just exactly what are you talking about, honey? I'm here to kill those who have harmed my girls.
Then she kind of looks off to the side for a second.
Wait a minute. Did you say cults?
I did.
What cult are you after?
Well, as I stated, I am after a cult of firebearers who are seeking to use the purest element as a means to hurt people. I've been sent by my order to hunt them down and stop them. And if I am remembering correctly, this man over here, and I incline my head towards Ling, is also after a cult.
Indeed, I am. I'm from the Order of the Keepers of the Wind, and it seems like we have a grand conspiracy about the second purest of the elements used to bolster the purest, injecting the air into the flame. We must put an end to this unwieldy use of the elemental prowess.
So it's an air cult that you're after?
It is. It's none other than Yan Si Ben's, the elemental evil prince of air.
Would he happen to be a jinn? A genie of some kind?
The jinn would be his direct followers.
Ah. Nice. So we start to see a pattern. Chepe, you know that the cultists that you're after did burn down your brothel, yes. So that may be a flyer connection there, but was also hunting and targeting women specifically, Jack the Ripper style.
Mm-hmm.
All I know.
Trying to get back into voice. She brings out a pipe, smokes it for a second, and then you see her eyes move around a little bit more, and you could probably tell like she's watching something, and then she blinks for a second. It's like,
I'm not sure if this is the people you're after. I'm after those Maserati a-holes who decided to burn down my pub, rip out the hearts of my women, and leave their blood through the streets. The only thing I know is if your cults lead to mine, then I'll gladly join.
Nice.
So, We are all seeking different cults and have come to the same spot in the desert.
Yes, my underworld connections told me about this city of glass thing that I only heard of once.
And when you mention the city of glass, the flaps on the side of my face kind of tremble for a second, and I get this brief look of anxiety on my face, and you see my fists clench, and then as soon as that happens, I sort of regain control and ease a little bit, and I say, "What business do you have in the city of glass?"
And then suddenly a new adventurer approached.
You guys got a minute for me. I'm wrapping some things up.
Yep, no problem, Jez.
She smokes a little bit more.
All I know is I found their implements next to my bar. I've seen their calling card. It's all the same cut marks on all the same bodies of women. And if they're doing this, I'm killing them.
The cut marks take the form of swirling spiral patterns, reminiscent to the artworks found in the cults of the air.
I'm actually going to use my attunement now to change the smoke that is blowing out of this into like animals in various shapes to try to ease her, soothe her a bit.
Jaren's not really amused. She barely even notices. She's actually more into her pipe, thinking about the scene in her mind, going over every single detail of what happened to her bar and what happened to her lover and love interests.
It's almost like, the far-off sound of gunfire and radio chatter communication as the trauma reenacts itself.
Chopper blades.
That's right.
Some guy, Marines, we're leaving.
all you see is a female, like her face is scarred, and see her eyes moving really, really fast back and forth, and all you know is her hands starting to kind of make gestures as she's arranging things in front of her.
Yep. An intellect hard at work.
So after taking a swig of water, I will place the water skin back in my sack and grab the old lamp that I have on my belt and rub it gently, trying to listen to something of some sort, but there's nothing to be heard. So looking down at the lamp, he puts it back on his belt. I swore that I could hear her voice, pulling his shamak down, turning towards the monk who had repaired his blade. You mentioned that you were looking for cults. I am also looking for some individuals. You mentioned the city of glass, and while you have helped me, I'm willing to help you, but it is definitely odd how our paths have crossed.
We have a saying back at my monastery. When the many rivers of life cross and become a raging torrent, seek the man with the boat. And I just look around, kind of confused at my own wisdom.
That's brilliant.
But you say you are a monk of air. Now, the genie of my family, the warriors of the lamp and legends, we harness the power of these genies. Do you know anything about them? Can you help me find her?
The jinns are evil, malevolent spirits easily controlled by Yansi Ben, the elemental prince of evil air. And I just kind of drift off in contemplation, and I think to myself, jinns are meant for prisons. Perhaps the city of glass is the biggest prison of them all.
Jess, you're playing a wood elf? In the deep desert, good God. Latimere, that's great. Okay, so your characters have been moving through the down into the valley now, and in the shadow, and they look over, and there's an interesting structure that they see. I'm just going to screen share it here. This is the structure they see off in the distance, somewhat. Can you see that? Okay.
I saw it for
flickered
a
off.
second, and then it went away. Yeah.
There.
There we go.
Just click on it. Yeah.
That's my hand, by the way, coming out of the sand.
That's a
You
big
guys can-
wood elf.
you see the structure sitting over there, and there's a strange lilting music coming from it.
I sort of
That
get
might be
this
green.
odd look on my face, and I look over at the others and I say, "Do you hear that?"
It's an ever so faint music.
Let's
Mhm.
be careful. Unsheath the whip and just crack it.
Oh, you got a whip. Nice.
Yep.
I'm going to attach my my wind chimes back to the end of my quarterstaff and just stick it in the ground so you can hear the wind chimes kind of blowing down into the sound of the music.
Juice, your character can hear wind chimes coming somewhat distantly from behind the monument that you were crouched behind, taking a break in the shade, eating some lembas bread.
Yeah, there just happens to be 3 other wood elves with me, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just kind of sitting here listening intently.
Yep. One of them is smoking some green weed and staring off into the distance, about to do some magic to help navigate the desert, because this is an unfamiliar terrain, and you've lost track of the path that you were following after the cultists' footprints as the desert sands shift around.
Okay. These wind chimes, this is obviously pretty odd for this area. I want to peek around and see what I can see from where they're coming from. But stealthily.
Sure.
Yeah, I made my check. 27.
27? Nobody has got sufficient passive perception to see this, but everybody is actively looking at the monument now, so you can make active rolls to see if you can spot Juice's characters, stickers, pointy head up.
I'm pretty damn perceptive, but not 27 perceptive.
Nope.
Oh, 23. Damn.
17.
So close.
Close, but no cigar.
17.
So there is you can barely see a puff of smoke coming from the side before it dissipates as the elf quickly stubs out his cigarillo in the sand. And silence.
I want to draw my bow and ready it to attack.
Sure. So it looks
And
like
as
a
I
group.
do this, I signal to the other 3 to be prepared to run in like sign language.
Yep. So they cinch their cloaks and tuck them into the back and make sure their moccasin-style boots are nicely cinched, and they take a swig of water, get into a crouch running position. Dip it
What
up
are
a bit
these-
of dirt.
What do these 4 figures look like, by the way?
They look like your classic mismatch of adventurers.
Okay. Nothing
Good.
that would signify evil or anything on them, though? Like
No,
nobody's
in
got
fact,
any
one of them-
skulls or anything?
One of them very clearly looks like a monk. There is a dragonborn with them who you know are native to this area of the desert.
Okay.
The monk is a human, I believe. Yeah. And
I'm half elf, actually.
looks like a half elf.
Okay.
And and you have a lithe human who's clearly from the bloodbath jungle, wearing the interesting garb of their people, because they live in quite hot climate conditions. So they wear straps and buckles and studs and clamps and various other nipple gripple things. And coming
I don't
coming
like the note there.
coming from a debauched society.
It's like
He
it's
also
like
probably
Hellraiser outfits. Is that what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Cenobites.
Probably come
So-
across more as a marauder as well, just with his shemagh and hunting traps on him, whips. It seems like he's up to no good business as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
If
okay.
there was more than one of you there, the prospect of a fight would be higher on the agenda. And then you have a dwarf who seems somewhat distracted and is looking around at the soil and picking it up and consulting a small scrapbook.
Okay, so I want to yell out. I want to blurt out. Take one more step, and one of you gets an arrow between the eyes.
I'm going to
Squeaks
jump
high.
forward.
Squeaks to high-pitched, effeminate voice.
And I jump forward and start skating down the edge of the sand dune right at him.
Nice.
Oh, I'm letting go. If he starts running at me, I'm letting go. So,
Okay, make an attack roll.
I'm going to use my reaction to deflect.
ooh. 9.
Yes.
All right. Well, I got a 9 anyway, so that arrow went right into the sand, probably.
All right, well, let me
he
roll
easily-
because I want to grab it.
He easily grabs the arrow out of the air.
All right,
Because
and then I expend
Karma
I
is on your
expend-
side.
I expend a key point to throw it back.
Oh, nice.
That's how it works.
I do have cover, by
Yes!
the way.
Yeah, he's got pretty much full cover.
He's
The wind is
throwing an
strong
arrow
with
at
this
you.
one.
I don't think there's too big of a chance that he's gonna hit you with it. It's more the principle of the thing. He caught your arrow, man. He's gonna throw it back.
I rolled a 6. So I'm gonna play it off with that miss, like I just tried to throw it aside, but secretly I was trying to throw it back.
Nice.
So
I
it's
feel like-
near
I
me.
feel
so
like
I'm
you
gonna
should
pick it
have-
right back up.
I feel like you should have walked up to him and just been like, "I believe you dropped this," and let's like give it to him.
That works. That works. So wandering over, you drop it in front of the large monument. So getting up close and personal with this thing, you notice that it's made out of sandstone, clearly,
Okay.
and it's been carved expertly. It even has fingerprint patterns.
Ooh. Wait, what does?
Oh, sorry. There's a big monument that you've been sitting behind that looks like
Oh,
a
the hand?
Yeah.
Okay. And I've already noticed all this, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What brings you guys here? I say to the guy that's getting close to me.
I contemplate a second whether or not I'm just gonna try to put him asleep, but I choose not to. And I say, we're hot on the trail of some cultists. Have you seen them?
AJ?
You have. They passed through this area not more than an hour ago, and then they plunged further into the valley, and you lost track of them.
Okay. So I relay that to you, Andrew.
Are you guys tracking them as well? What brings you out here? It's very odd.
Yeah, my homeland has fallen under some great catastrophes over the last few years, and me and my comrades here, come out, guys, and I wave, and 3 elves, wood elves as well, all in green cloaks, step out. One of them's a little bit plump. This one here is Eleg, and I point to the plump one. Another one is a very good-looking guy. He's also a wood elf. This right here is Elandero, and this one right here, who's a very stereotypical-looking wood elf, all with the same color hair as me, which is like a light brown, is Alanesh. And we're just trying to seek riches to help our homeland.
I'll tip my head again, showing him my eyes, and say, my name is Ling. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
So why did you not listen and charge at me like that?
Your arrows are but buzzing bees, easily swatted out of the sky.
Yeah, I don't like that very much.
The elves give you a look of cool disdain.
Yeah, I just kind of look at my friends, down at my finely crafted arrows and my bow, contemplating putting one between your eyes for real this time.
With the vial I'm sensing, I say, but unlike the bees, your makings are not of honey. This is a rather sour experience.
Look here.
Interesting. Getting sass from a half-blood. Ooh.
Yeah. Look here, friend. I mean no trouble. I'm just here for for things that I need for my people. Surely you can understand that. But if you overstep your boundaries, I will not hesitate to put one of these in you.
I am a monk, my friend. I am playful like the wind. I mean you no harm. And I extend my hand to shake.
I put the arrow in the other hand with my bow, and I do shake his hand.
And I give him like an earnest recognition of respect.
All right. So what are you guys out here for other than these cultists? Is that it?
Juice, you know that the cult that you were following, they called themselves the Dark Wind, and they stole an object from your people called the Stormstone, which protects their forest home from unusual weather conditions.
Okay.
Is the rest of the party down there too at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd probably, as soon as it was clear that they weren't gonna kill each other, I would grab my spear and sort of loosen my blades in their scabbards and come down to meet them, and I'd sort of keep a safe distance behind Ling so I don't seem like I'm coming up to like back him up or anything. I'm just sort of in the background watching.
I'm definitely investigating that giant stone hand because, well, I'm a dwarf.
Sure.
And I'm an investigator, so that's what I do. So I'm definitely trying to pertain the history of this stone hand, looking at its markings, because there's also curved patterns on it, right?
Yeah. Matt, as Vrak moves closer to the large stone hand,
Yeah.
you see it move imperceptibly, and one of the index finger points down the valley in a specific direction.
I sort of keep this information to myself, and I follow the line where the finger is pointing and try to see if I can notice what it's pointing at.
Your sharp desert native eyes make out little bumps on the horizon, deep in the valley's heart.
And does it look like it might be structures?
It looks like little bumps.
So I sort of, if a conversation is happening, I sort of interrupt it with a and I say, I don't mean to interrupt, but the enormous hand seems to be pointing us in the direction of some shapes in the distance. And I look at what's your character's name, Juice?
Vladimir?
I look at Vladimir and I say, Vraktorim Dardendrian, but it is acceptable to call me Vrak. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Pleasure to meet you, Vrak. Your friend's always so quick to attack?
I wouldn't call him my friend. I've known him the better part of 10 minutes.
Ah.
But we have a common goal, and so we are sticking together at this point.
Juice, what's your character's passive perception? Sorry to interrupt.
Oh no, you're perfectly fine. 14?
Okay, thank you.
Ling would just like to point out that
15,
he was
I'm
not
sorry.
the one who attacked. He gives you a cross look and does the lightning bolts with his elemental attunement and just walks away.
Raven styles. Nice.
So after
nobody
I
else-
make a...
Nobody else saw the indication of the finger, but they all can roughly make those like
So-
the half elf can make out the bumps. The elf can make out the bumps. The others not so much.
Can I do a history check on the hand by any chance?
Sure.
Because I'm investigating it. Due to stone cutting, bonuses, all that.
Yep.
25.
From the proportions of this hand, it is a halfling's hand, and is a ancient signpost of the borders of their arable rich growing territory. So somewhat after that time, when the desert started to encroach on this area, the Dragonborn, mobile as they were at that time, moved with it and harvested as much of the arable soil as they could before the desert sands took it over. They left this signpost here as a reminder of the people that once lived.
I look at the group and I start relaying this information very adamantly. That's a light way of putting it. With the deep smoker's voice, pulling my pipe out of my mouth.
When he tells us this, or when she tells us this, does that sort of ring any bells for me, or click anything in my mind, specifically regarding the City of Glass?
Yeah, they do. That is exactly what happened. They took soil with them so that they could build a refuge. Sick and tired of their wandering ways, they wanted to build something of their civilization and found a way to do so.
So would I think that is like an indicator of where the city is, or like a?
Yeah, it's close by. It's less than a day's travel from here.
Yeah. So I kind of make a thoughtful and then don't say anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to offer Jarvan water from my flask when I hear how raspy her voice is.
Don't worry, hon. This isn't from smoking. This is just my natural voice. The dust is as natural with my throat as blood is for my hands.
I keep wanting to ask Joran to refill my coffee.
I just tell Jaren, there's some balm in some distant land for you, I'm sure, my friend.
What did you say?
There's balm. There's balm somewhere to heal your wounds.
Balm. Nice.
So at that point, noticing this conversation has just passed by, I am going to pay attention particularly to Brack, who's pointed out the next step of our journey. If this is where we need to go, why aren't we there? You said you saw little shapes on the horizon. You should go.
Yes, I suppose that would be the logical conclusion. And I look at Latimir and I say, you mentioned you saw the cultists pass through here.
Yes,
what direction were they going?
I point in the direction that they went about an hour ago.
Sure. It is heading off towards those bumps on the horizon.
Well,
I turn to Landoro, and I tell him, I say, you, scout further ahead in that direction. See what you find. We will be shortly behind you, I'm sure. And then I turn to the rest of everyone else, and I say, what do you guys say? Do you want to follow up behind and see what he finds?
I
We can stay at a safe distance.
Spare your henchmen. We will scout it ourselves.
All right. I can handle that. Step down, Landoro.
And then I'll start walking forward.
I'll follow immediately right next to this man. I owe him a favor, if anything.
I grab my spear from its place in the sand and continue and follow behind the two of them, pretty close behind.
Okay.
I'm going to stick to the back, because I don't trust anybody. Me and my three henchmen just kind of space out, so we have some space between all of us.
Okay.
I mount my lizard and go a little bit ways to the side because I probably plan on hiding at some point.
Right. Your two-leg does have a couple of feathers, like in the form of a crest out of its head, but it is, very lizard-like, very raptor-like. Okay, so as you move towards the thing, the shapes, they look like this. Can you see that?
Yes. Ooh, no. Keeps bobbing and no.
Done.
Click it once.
You got it?
No, it's
Oh.
there. Oh, it.
Oh, there it goes.
It's like flashing.
I've seen it for a cumulative like 2 seconds at this point. So
Yeah, but we've seen it like 10 times. We should be familiar now.
Yeah, we got it.
Okay. So as it shimmers in and out of the view in the heat of the desert, you can see that it is in fact a petrified forest. And the
I
tracks
feel
of the
this.
cultists now become apparent on the ground, converging from many different locations into a large group. And you see
I
a
feel
dust.
really sad seeing this.
Can I do
Yeah.
an invest? Oh, go ahead.
Yes, you may.
I'd like to do an investigation because that's what Jaren does. She hops down off her two-leg, starts examining, taking note of each individual track and which place they're going, trying to recognize, because she's probably memorized the entire shape of the feet that were near her bar at that point, the shape of the shoes. So. And that is a natural crit plus bonuses.
So you see the dwarf get down off her two-leg and actually taste the soil from one of the footprints and grimaces and says, "It is them."
I bring out my Kopesh and I actually cut a little bit into my own finger and watch the blood come out. Soon.
Nice. With your critical, you also detect a little bit of rust powder that is shook free of the shoes of the cultist. Obviously, they came into contact with some rust monsters too, and didn't fare so well. And they've made their way into the petrified forest, and you see the dust of their their passage being blown up in the desert breeze. They are close by.
They're closer than we would thought they were.
She kind of grins a bit, and then after she looks over, she stares at the group.
They're here. They're they're very close. They've recently had an encounter with the monsters that we did and didn't fare so well. It will be easy prey.
How do you know this?
Darling, when you've been in the business as long as I have and seen as many things as I do, you learn a few things.
Her voice rasps a little bit more. You catch a bit of phlegm in her throat.
I'm kind of giving Jaren this weird look, and I say, "I am inclined to believe you. Where are they? Can you lead us to them?"
Their tracks are converging in the same direction as the statue. Of course.
Can you tell how many there are?
AJ?
There's at least 30.
Pure.
That's a mega cult.
I'm going stealth, and even from the whole party as well.
So you get sort of fadey around the edges.
23. So I kind of just disappear. No one knows where I'm at.
Ling turns back and looks at Vrock and says, "The winds tell me we must make like a leaf on River of Life and kill these cultists."
And I kind of raise one scaly brow and I say, "You have a way with words." But I agree with the last part. Yes. And
So
I loosen the blades in their scabbards and pick up my spear and I say, "Let's go."
So after the elf throws some sand in the air and then steps sideways behind you.
Ninja vanish!
You can clearly see through the small forest of petrified trunks and fallen trees trunks that there is a plume of dust not too far off.
I'm sort of letting Jaren take the lead on this, since she sort of found the tracks, and she seems to just be completely in tune with the hunt at this point. So I sort of hang back and let her lead the way.
I give. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, so I was just picturing your character leaping up on the two-leg and going, yeah!
At this point, because she's a lot smarter than that, she gets off the two-leg and actually hands it to one of the wood elves.
Oh, brilliant.
Because then she starts. You see her start being more and more cautious as we get closer, probably planning to duck to the side of one of the trees in case you see anything. You can see that she's reaching in her pack. She has a whole lot of crap that she's been wearing on her back, but she pulls out certain few bundles of items, wraps them in a cloth, and has it wrapped around her back. Everything else is left on the two-leg, and you see her kind of rummaging through it as if she's plotting something.
The two-leg is handed to Elik, the hefty elf.
Please tell me the two-leg doves down a little bit, a few inches when he gets on it. He can't fully carry it. He just kind of his back hurts a bit.
He doesn't mount the thing. He's never seen one of these creatures before, and I don't know what my reaction would be if I was suddenly handed the reins to a velociraptor. But he's suddenly very conscious of the fact that he's a plump and juicy elf, and he looks down at this thing, at the huge dew claws on it as they clack against the side of this thing, looking at him nervously.
Ulig needs to lay off the lembas bread, man.
Yeah. All right, so you guys are preparing yourselves.
One thing that I'd like to do is take a hunting trap, open it up, and then tie my hempen rope to one end of the hunting trap, so that if I wanted, I could throw it and get someone with a hunting trap at range.
Sure. I like that idea. I'm sure your character's got skills enough to do that.
So we saw 30 of these guys through this petrified forest.
You've seen the tracks of 30.
Jaren figured out that there were 30 from the tracks.
Yeah,
okay, so we can't actually see them, though. Okay.
No, but they are kicking up a sizable amount of dust as they move. They seem to be moving at speed.
Now, this petrified forest, are we able to climb through these petrified trees, or on top of them?
They're well spaced. They're well spaced apart, like a forest. They are stone trunks, so mineral trunks. Some have fallen over and just shattered into big logs. But it's just the sheer number of them that you see.
So it might be conceivable that I could climb up one and jump from tree to tree to tree through here.
They are quite far apart.
Oh, okay.
That might. I mean, you're an elf. Yes, you could do it in theory.
And I have amazing acrobatics.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But it would be just as expedient to run along the ground.
Okay.
No, I'm in favor of your character making a bunch of acrobatics checks to try and jump from stone pillar to stone pillar. I think you should totally do that, Juice.
It would give you a definite field of view advantage.
I'm in favor of the monks also doing that at some point during a fight and having a fight on top of the tree trunks with monks just kung fuing everywhere, elements flying in the air.
Okay, that sounds like it's got to happen.
What would be my...
Putting that on the checklist.
Yeah. This might be metagaming a little. I'm just curious what the DC would be for the for an acrobatics check. You don't have to tell me.
Yes.
You don't have to tell him, but he would like to know. So
I would just like to know. I rolled an 18.
Higher than 1 and lower than 50, Juice.
I'm just going to say this. I rolled poorly and I had an 18.
Oh. You can't hear it, but I'm like flipping pages right now. Yes, I see. Well, it depends. If they're close together, 15. If they're far apart, 20.
Okay.
I mean, they're relatively stable. unless they're not. And they're dry. So
Okay.
not too bad.
Sweet. Yeah, I want to do that then. I want to go along the top of the trees. See what
Okay.
I can see.
How fast are you guys moving? Walking pace, fast walk, run, jog.
I'm thinking fast walk, at least for my character, because he's burdened, tying up everything up, getting his trap ready.
Jaren's definitely fast walking because she's a dwarf and she has to keep up with everyone.
Yeah, I move 45 feet around, so I would say I'm actually probably holding back a little bit so that I'm not speeding too far ahead of the rest of the group. And I assume Ling can move that quickly as well. So
Yeah, you've got no problem walking over the desert sands. They tend to shift more under the feet of the others.
My character's pretty quick, but I'm going to stay along the sides, like to the side of the whole group and up on trees, just kind of watching ahead to see if I can, whatever I can see. And if I see something, I want to let my arrows go.
Okay, give me an acrobatics roll there, Juice.
Yep. 22.
No problem. Your elven companions, Elig, Elandra, and Elanish, also moving across the top of the trees?
No, they'll probably stay on the ground. They're not as awesome as me.
Okay.
few people are.
Elig has dropped back considerably along with the two-leg, as the beast proves to be truculent, having smelled his fear. Okay, I want everybody to roll initiative for me.
Can I? Okay, never mind.
My bonus.
Seriously? I got 7 again, AJ, for my initiative.
Wow, okay.
I just crit.
You and your crits, man.
Dude, it's this black dice. I've never had this dice work for me before.
Oh, so it's making up for it all right now.
Yeah, the blue dice that came with the D&D starter set, it's been put on probation.
Go sit in the corner.
See, I was gonna dice fame my 5th edition starter set dice, and then I had, well, at encounters this week, they didn't kill as many people as I was hoping.
No.
Yeah, I had 9 crits 2 weeks ago. I had the
Also-
double crit. I had a double crit with disadvantage.
Also using the
awesome.
starter set dice up until this point, but I will now be changing over to the blessed Greenwood dice.
All right.
Oh,
Here we
no.
go.
You got to
Yes.
compete with Juice's blessed at Greenwood dice. So.
This game's
Yeah,
about
see-
to explode.
This hangout can't handle all this Greenwood blessing.
I know.
Oh,
just,
AJ,
don't cross,
I got-
just don't cross the streams, man.
Right.
Yeah. I got 17, by
Yes.
the way, AJ.
Okay. 17. All got... Where are we? 22. Nice. Juice got 17. Oh, Matt. They're so far away from you.
Yeah.
Well, good news
Poor
is...
Matt.
I'm just down here at the bottom of the initiative. I'll see you guys later.
So, the creature that now attacks you, as Juice, you notice immediately that you're in trouble because you see the cultists not far off, and it looks like rope is attaching from them to the trees around them, and they are struggling and striking at the ropes.
They're striking at the ropes.
Yeah, it looks like somebody you can't see has lassoed some of them, and they are hacking at the ropes with blades, look like ritual daggers and things, and spells are being fired off. And now you guys start to hear the sounds of like frantic combat going on. And at that precise moment, lo and behold, some ropes come flying at you. So, Juice, you get one flying in your direction.
Wow. Okay.
And that
So
is-
he could see me even with my stealth? Or was I not able to stealth with jumping
Probably
across?
because it's from the trees and you're in the tree. That's my guess.
So this is a 26 to hit.
Ooh. Yeah, that's going to hit me.
Okay. You are grappled. It is a escape DC 15 that you can take on your turn. So you're at disadvantage on strength checks, saving throws, and.
And then what's the damage if we try to cut it? Does it have a damage? Well, you don't have. I guess don't tell us that. Never mind. Don't tell me that.
Well, yeah, they've got a hit points and an armor class, so you can try and strike at them.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
I'm asking all these meta questions. I'm sorry.
No, that's right. That's fine.
I never do that. I don't know why I'm doing it all of a sudden.
Another one strikes at Shepe, but your character manages to avoid it. And the last one strikes at Matt, lagging behind, and that is quite a lot. That will hit. Let me just do the number thing. 24.
24 to hit. Yeah, it definitely hits me.
So grapples you as well,
Okay.
wrapping around your legs. So those of you who have been grappled, you notice that the rope is alive.
Ah!
And now we start the actual turn. Andrew.
How close are the ones that lassoed Juice's character to me?
He's up above you and to the side, just a little bit in front of you.
Okay. Can I? Is it like within range then for me to like jump and try to strike this living object that's trying to grapple him?
For a monk, yeah, no problem.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna jump up with my quarterstaff, wind chimes going off in the air as I strike at this thing with
Sure.
attack number 1. That one not so hot. That's gonna be an 11 versus AC.
That fails to hit.
Okay. So then with the second attack, I'm gonna go back again with the quarterstaff. That one will be a 15 versus AC.
Also, it hits, but doesn't do any. It doesn't have any effect against the strong fibrous cords.
Okay. So with that, then I'm going to fall back down to the ground and use a key point to take a bonus action and give myself dodge.
Okay. Nice one.
Yeah, and that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay. So next up is Paul.
So looking at this pompous elf in the trees getting suddenly grappled, and the man who has reforged my blade attacking the ropes, I'll stop and ask, why do we even care? What's he done for us? What can he do for us? Should we really fight? I'm more worried about them. And point off in the distance at the cultists.
So if you look over to the side and point, your eyes light upon one of the petrified trees around you, and you notice that the rope seems to come around from behind it. And as you're looking, the bark of this thing splits open, and a large saucer-shaped eye peers out and sort of rotates in its socket and looks over towards you, and then closes again, almost as if it was a figment of your imagination.
So at that, I'm probably going to stop this desert. It's playing tricks on me. And just look away, look back. So as I was saying, why should we care about it? I'm not going to take an action.
Okay.
I fire back and quip, be like, we share half of a heritage, even though it is my lesser half. Said the half elf to the elf.
Nice. Shepe, what
Okay,
does
so
Jaren do?
there's two people roped, right?
Yeah.
Who's the closest one to me? Because I was up ahead of the group, he was behind the group, if I remember correctly. Juice.
Yeah, so you are closest to Juice's character, technically.
Oh, so I was in front of the group and he was in the back? And
He was.
I'm
Yeah, Juice is about 10 foot up on top of a pillar next to you, next to the group. You're slightly ahead, and Matt was taking up the rear with the elf on right down the back, and everybody else sort of grouped up in the middle.
All right. Noticing this, I'm gonna move up to Matt. Was grappled, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna move up to Matt and throw one of my flasks of oil that was in my pack that I kept and tied around my back at the rope.
Okay. I love the expression on your face there, Matt.
Usually, if you're being grappled and someone pulls out grenade weapons, if you're gonna have a bad time.
It's just oil.
Okay, all right. It's just oil now.
Yes, and I'm throwing it farther up on the rope.
It's okay.
Right?
Andrew's playing a monk this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. Don't worry. I don't got no oil.
Rack, just
Did I need
of your powers?
Got a mate?
Huh?
Oh, sorry. What did you get?
I got like a plus dex, right? It's plus dex for throwing an improvised weapon, right?
Yep.
So I got an 11.
Okay. So the oil splashes on the tendril.
Okay.
Does any
And
get
then
on
I-
me?
No.
I turned to my monk friend, realizing that he has fire, and was like,
It'll be easier to break now, honey.
very calm, and then I just kind of cross my arms and just watch.
He does have fire?
Yeah.
Oh, you're in trouble. We are in trouble.
Don't worry. I actually don't have fire.
Oh, okay.
Well, I consider it safe considering everything else is sand, and if the rope is the only thing covered in oil.
Well, and I have resistance to fire, so I'm willing to take that chance.
Okay.
It does an extra 6 damage, I think. 5
Yeah,
or
it'll
6.
be an ongoing burn. Juice.
So I want to reach for my dagger if I can and try to cut this tendril.
Sure.
16?
So you start to saw at it, and you realise this the rope is actually rotating underneath your blade, so you can't get a solid cut on it. It's distributing the slice across a living blade.
So then I get a bonus action. Can I try and disengage?
You can
Disengage
you can
from
use,
being grappled?
you can use your move action to try and beat the DC 15.
Okay. 19!
Nice. So you managed to disengage from this thing and throw the tendril off sideways through the air, which then stops and scythes around like a snake, coming up at you like a cobra.
So because of that, do I still have my bonus action?
Yeah.
Then I want to dash away from that.
Okay, so you do a nice little backwards somersault onto the next pillar. Give me a DC. Give me a DC 15 check on the acrobatics there.
27.
Nice. It's like grab hold of the tendril, swing across pirate style, land on another pillar. Excellent. Okay, the beasties have another go. So now on their proper attack, you see the eyes. All of you now see the eyes and mouths of these things open. And you are looking at petrified pillars which now come to life with these large saucer-shaped eyes with cat-like pupils that focus on you as the mouths, what do you call it, like a pull back. The lips pull back and the teeth extrude out from this thing and then open up with tendrils of drooling slime, and you can smell their breath pluming across as they start to hiss at you. And the rope tendrils of these things unfurl from pockets within the creature, and then start to flail out far more than there were before. And they make attacks against all of you. Okay. So Andrew.
TPK.
Andrew,
You're
you're muted.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say against me they have disadvantage because I took the bonus action dodge.
Okay. So with a disadvantage, there's a 16 to hit.
Ooh, that just hits me.
Okay. Gets you around the neck.
Does it do me damage? Because I can also try to deflect it.
No, but it does mess up your nice shine on your shaven head somewhat, because it scuffs across the top of your head.
Damn.
Paul.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 20 to hit.
You hit.
That is a 16 versus Chepe. That is a fail to hit Juice. And that is a fail to hit Matt.
You hit me, but I used my reaction for a parry to have the damage.
Oh, okay. It doesn't damage you, it's just you've parried it to the side.
Okay.
Is that right?
Well, no, I have a AC of like 13. You got 16, right?
Oh, right. It's just wrapping around you. So it's not a weapon attack.
So did he grapple me at this point?
He did, yeah.
Okay. That's it. I just think it's hilarious because I was crossing my legs just staring at the Dragonborn, kind of waiting for him to get free, and then I got wrapped myself.
Cool. I see you guys having a little rules discussion there.
I was just trying to figure out how Juice had better acrobatics than me. I was getting jealous.
Oh, the double proficiency, yeah.
Yeah, double proficiency. I forgot about that.
Nice. Okay, so the monsters have you grappled, and they start to pull. Hands up everybody who is currently grappled. Nice. Juice is not grappled.
The cheese stands alone.
Awesome.
Okay, so everybody who is grappled gets torn 25 feet, up to 25 feet, and reeled across into the jaws of these things. Luckily, there's only 3 of them, so only 3 of you can actually be bitten.
Oh, good.
And that is Andrew and Paul and Matt.
Oh.
You thought I was going down the order of combat, right?
I thought so.
The tendril is trying to pull at Jaren, but she's a really heavy dwarf, and she's just sitting there with her arms crossed, and it's just barely aching to move it, and like her feet are dragging in the sand. She's getting more and more buried in.
What's that phrase? She's dug in like an Alabama tick. Okay, so they make their bite attacks. Oh, crikey, that's a hit. Ouch. 17 and yeah. So each one of you gets chomped on by these things.
Oh, jeez.
Now, do I still? I still think I have dodge active, don't I?
Yeah, I think it's till the start of your next turn.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure how that works with being grappled. You can still...
Yeah, it doesn't really make... I mean, even if it's technically right, I don't think it makes sense.
Mm. So anyway, I'm going to roll the damage because I like doing that. And the flat damage is brutal. I really like how 5th edition has got a flat damage rate, though.
I really like it too. I find myself using that quite a bit.
I haven't used the damage, just the hit points. Although I could see that making things pretty simple. Uh-oh.
No, I just rolled the first one, and it's exactly what the flat damage states anyway. Nice one, Watsy. Nice one. So, Andrew, you take 22 points of damage as this thing sinks its teeth right into your leg.
Ouch.
Dude.
Yeah. Not only that, but an up-close look at these, they're about steak knife-sized teeth. They're not in the best of dental hygiene, by a long shot. And that is a 20 on Paul. Oh, I seem to be running out of juice. That's 13 on Matt.
15 damage?
13 total.
Oh, 13. Okay.
Yeah. You got off light on that one. It's
Yeah.
It's got a hold of your leg, which is well armored. Yeah, so they bite and tend to masticate somewhat. So they're actually chewing into you as they bite down, and sucking with the big sort of lip-like mouth that's around the outside as they're trying to get the moisture out of you immediately as best they can as you struggle and scream. All right. Nice. Good one, monsters. Matt, your turn.
Oh, am I still here? Is this happening?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. So this thing has me in its mouth, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Is the tendril with the oil-covered part in the mouth with him?
No, it's just off to the side.
All right. So I'm getting bit into here. This thing is chewing on me, and I'm just losing control of what little restraint I had against the rage that is sort of constantly burning within me, and I sort of just put my hands together and hold them out towards this thing, and I'm gonna cast Burning Hands, spending 2 key points to do so.
Ooh.
So this thing needs to make a DC 14 dexterity saving throw.
Okay, I'm going to give it disadvantage.
Thank you.
And it passes.
Okay, so it's going to take half damage.
Okay.
So 7, 8. So it's going to take 4 fire damage, and if I can, I'd like to try and angle the burst of fire here to try and catch that the oil that Jarin put on the tentacle.
Okay, give me a roll of d6 for the flame damage as well.
Okay. That's 4.
Okay. So I'm taking 8 points damage total. Excellent. Doesn't seem entirely pleased about that.
And that was my action. I'm trying to decide if I can do something else, but I don't think I can, so that'll end my turn.
Okay. You can try and make a strength check to with a disadvantage to get yourself free.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, I'll do that. Oh my god. With this, I rolled a 5 and a natural 20.
Oh!
So with my strength bonus, that's a 7.
Okay.
Wah, wah.
Damn it, I hate when that happens.
So the eye of this thing was focused on you as it was biting and sucking. And then as its tendril caught fire next to it, its eye swung over and looked at it. And one of them, the one that's holding onto Andrew, lets free with its jaws for a second, and you hear very distinctly a voice come out of this thing as it says, Flame. Nice. Andrew, your turn.
Okay, this maw that's smashing up my monk. Is there anything like pointy or jagged within 20 feet of it? Like large. Like if I was gonna try to throw it into something.
Yeah, teeth.
No, like an environmental hazard.
Well,
There's shattered versions of the pillars, like the old stalagmites.
Paul's character grappled. He's still got his trap on a rope, which went flying sideways somewhat, and is lying conveniently close to you.
Alright. I then am going to use one of my hands that isn't grappled up by this thing and use Fist of the Unbroken Air, which expends 2 key points, and then I'm going to expend a 3rd key point to up its damage. So basically, this monster has to do a strength saving throw at DC 14. And let me roll what happens here.
I must warn you, these things are titanically strong.
20,
Ooh, it fails.
13,
It fails.
21. Alright, yeah, this is not going to be good for it. It gets hit by 43 bludgeoning damage,
Oh my
gets
god!
thrown 20 feet into the trap, and gets knocked prone. And you hear me yell as I do it, Unbroken Fist of Chan. Bam!
How much damage does this trap do, Paul?
I just put it in chat. It does 1d4 piercing damage. The creature stops moving the moment the trap is triggered. It can only move on the tiny length of string attached to the trap. You could say that's also the rope that I attached to it. And it has to make a DC 13 strength check to free itself.
Okay.
Oh, and AJ, sorry, that's 33. That's 33 bludgeoning, not 43.
Oh, okay.
Had my own numbers up wrong.
Whew. That was brutal. Brutal.
What does this thing look like now? I mean, did he just shatter all the petrified parts? I mean,
No, there are no petrified parts. It is all roper. You notice that the underside of it is got little tendrils, like little cilia tendrils, for which it can move around slowly on the ground, and they are extending out anemone-like to try and grab hold of the ground so it can pull itself upright again. Its rope-like tendrils flail around and slap down on the ground in little puffs, and it lets out a as it's grabbed by the teeth of this trap, which snap across it, just about piercing its central eye. That was wicked. Paul.
So where does that put everyone who is grappled? Do we all just fling to the side with this roper?
No, that was the one that was trying to actually grapple Chepe. So it's currently got hold of. Currently got hold of you.
Has it revealed its eye or maw or anything?
Yeah, they all have now.
Okay.
so wait, I'm the one being grappled by the one that just got knocked into the trap?
It was trying to grapple you. Yes, it was trying. They can grapple multiple people.
Okay, because like I'm still stuck and buried in the sand practically, right?
Yeah, you've got
I got
your
dragged along with it. Is that what happened?
You got your pointy stick, which is you've walked it out like a climber's axe and grabbed hold of one of the other pillars, and it's released you in disgust.
You've saved me again, Clara. Looking at the stick, and it has Clara's name written on it. Small tear dripping down.
Nice. Paul, what are you doing?
So I would like to, at this point, first I have to ask, because I actually don't know the answer to this question. How many times can you cast a cantrip in one turn? Is it as many actions as you have?
Typically once.
Because it's an attack action. It's as many attack actions as you have, right?
Unless it's a reaction spell or a bonus action spell.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you only get one attack action, one movement action, one bonus action, and one reaction action per turn.
Unless you're a fighter and
You get bonus
you get-
attacks, yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
Or
So-
extra
I
attacks,
think
I'm sorry.
Eldritch
Action
Knight
surge.
can do a cantrip as a bonus action in addition to attacking with their melee weapon, I believe.
But that would count as their
I'm
bonus
grappled
action.
as
You would
well.
Yeah.
get 2 bonus actions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at this point, I don't think it would make sense for me to grab for my blade, just being grappled and all. So with his left hand, probably grabbing onto this tentacle, he's going to summon up this genie magic that he's been given to send a massive bolt of lightning, several just surges of lightning throughout the tentacle. So I'd like to use my action surge along with my regular attack, extra attack, so 3 attacks, to use shock and grasp 3 times.
Mhm.
And as a bonus action, use second wind as I try to heal myself in the midst of this attack, try to loosen the strain.
Sure.
And
What's your DC? Hang on, you gave that to me. Hang on.
Thank you.
my AC? Or spell,
Your spell save DC is 14, right? Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
One action, touch, verbal and somatic. Yeah, just grasping onto this and can't think of anything to say. But actually, thunderstruck. And just,
would you like to give me a DC 14 saving throw?
sure. What's the saving throw? Is it going to be an int?
This will be let's say Constitution.
Okay. 9. I unfortunately failed.
Okay, so you've managed to electrocute yourself as well as the roper. However, you have done full damage to the roper. You do half damage to yourself because you were kind of expecting this, I guess. Somewhat.
Advantage on a hit. Okay,
How much damage was that?
so it's 2d8 lightning damage per attack.
Okay.
7, 8, 15 on the first one.
Nice.
Now, do I make this save every time that I perform Shocking Grasp?
No. Just when you're shocking something that's currently holding on to you.
Okay, well, considering I've already stated my actions and I'm taking the damage as well, I'm going to be continuing on that same route of actions.
Okay. I mean, hey, it could have been non-conductive, in which case, it would have been a learning curve.
7, 14.
Nice. Okay.
And
So the roper does let you go, and also lets Juice go.
Oh,
sorry,
it had me?
Juice. No, it didn't have you. It's cobra tendril up above you sort of whips away and makes a twitching motion through the air as the electricity courses into it. It's not happy.
Okay,
Tasered.
should I continue on my... I'm assuming I wouldn't be able to continue that
Oh, yeah, you're
last
fine.
attack with the-
No, you're fine. Go for it.
Okay,
Though if you miss it, it'd be understandable. Don't tase me, bro.
okay. So that's 11 damage for the final thunder blast.
Okay.
After being let go with the various tentacles kind of... Well, the tentacle letting him go, he would probably just hold his hand out and aim to kind of grab at the body of the roper in some way, shape, or form.
Okay.
And,
Well, it's right there, chewing on you.
and that brings me to the bonus action, so second wind. After that, I'm I'm probably gonna just wipe some sweat off my brow, the blood, the maybe feel around my neck or torso, wherever it's grabbed me.
Mm-hmm. Your hair is also somewhat spiky at this time.
Excellent. So that's 13. Is
Nice.
what I regained.
So that gives you, I don't know whether it's the second wind or the jolt that you gave yourself, but you get up with a leaping motion and sort of do a Michael Jackson backward step. Woohoo! Okay. Jaren, what are you doing?
Okay, so because I was still, even though I was being dragged through the sand, I was still focusing in on what was happening to Matt.
Absolutely.
Because I was still just crossing my arms the entire time, just waiting for it to let go of me. And is it distracted by Matt by any chance? Because it was just burned from the inside.
Yes, it is distracted.
Okay, so I can then make a stealth check to sneak up and stab it in the eye?
Absolutely.
So it would be considered surprised?
Yes.
Okay.
I should mention that if you've got an ally which is adjacent to a creature and attacking it, that opens up that you can sneak attack it.
Okay. I was just saying because surprised creatures I crit on.
Ah, okay.
That's double 16.
16.
Oh wait, plus dex. I forgot to add dex. 18.
Its armor class is very high.
Well, that's the stealth check.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, no problem.
Okay. So then I attack. I whip out my Kopesh and go straight for the eye as it's going after Matt.
Okay.
Da-da-da. Oh wait, do I have advantage? Yeah, I have advantage, don't I? Okay. Da-da-da. That would be 17 against AC.
That will fail to hit.
That would fail to hit? Dang.
Fails to hit. Yeah. It's tough. Okay.
So I just missed the eye and I just chinked my Kopesh against the side of the petrified parts?
Yeah. Its eye is kind of shielded by a gin trap. It's twisting around somewhat to try and get itself back upright again. And it's flailing its tendrils around itself, which sort of deflects the blow somewhat. So you manage to chunk into the heavy plating next to its eye. Chunk. Do you have anything else you'd like to do?
I'd like to spend a bonus action to hide in the sand, try to cover myself up again, because I was kind of stealthy and then I kind of ticked it off against the hard part, so I was hoping it didn't feel anything.
Yeah, it's somewhat distracted. So you do a little ninja roll and come up behind another trunk of the tree. This one hopefully not alive. As we move on to Juice.
Yeah, who's still grappled by this thing, or these things? Okay. So the tentacle that is around Matt, I want to shoot it with one of my arrows.
Sure. The flaming tentacle.
Yeah, I'm going to try and shoot it to see if I can sever it.
The flaming tentacle of fire.
That would be a 21 to hit.
Nice.
And 7 damage.
It cuts straight through the tentacle, which drops to the ground inertly. The other severed part attached to the roper, a squirt of fluid comes out the end of it, and it then flies around in the air frantically, like you just slammed your finger in a door.
Is that the tentacle that was holding me?
Yeah, you are
so
free.
I'm free?
You're free.
Juice. Thank you.
No problem. So I'm assuming because I have the sharpshooter feat that I'm pretty far away from this as I kind of let it go, and it like whizzed between like some of these petrified trees and nailed this tentacle.
Yeah. Absolutely. Pew!
And then I want to hide again as well.
Okay.
Rogues.
You're still on a pillar, right?
Sure. I can jump down if I think it would make more sense for my guy.
You could probably just sort of hunker down behind it, grab hold of it limpet-like.
Okay. I'll do a stealth
Or
check.
perhaps throw lots of sand in the air, I don't know.
So 13 stealth, by the way.
Okay. Nice. What are your elven companions doing? Are they just sort of running around the outside going, get him?
Yeah, they stay far away. They're afraid of combat.
Right.
They can't engage in combat, according to the book.
We fear death. They're chronicling it. One's got a lute out, the other one's writing some lyrics. And they're having a discussion on the outcome.
Yeah, basically. They're betting. They're gambling.
Yeah. Oleg's down for 5 silver. Okay,
And Oleg always loses. That's the rule.
The monsters attack again. The one which has just had its tentacle severed still lunges at Matt, who hasn't managed to back away yet, for another bite attack. Oh, God. That's a critical.
No.
Why do I see a little sign saying, your adventure ends here, traveler?
I should have saved before this encounter.
Okay. So that's mini damage. Let's see, looking up section, when things go bad for characters.
What to do when your character dies?
Refer to suck it up.
Step number 1, get over it.
Step number 2, recycle character with new name.
This is my brother that was here this
I was
entire
just gonna say, when your
I have
identical
3
twin
companions.
brother shows up.
There's 3 companions you could turn into.
That's true. I'll be the fat one.
Just make a ranger whose favorite enemy are ropers.
Yeah, exactly.
and it's his twin brother that has identical
yes,
stats, just a
yes.
different class.
Same look, same weapons.
Can we
So
please
tell-
actually have an identical twin? That would be amazing. Like, he just is one of the cultists and learned that his brother was killed and then just comes out and joins the party. And he helps us sneak in and kill everyone. That would be amazing.
Well, the good news is, I didn't actually roll that well.
Okay, that's good.
Bad news is it is 32 points of damage total.
Oh my god. I'm not joking. I have 1 hit point left.
It has clamped down on your knee.
Ah.
And I'm not saying it's like an arrow, but I will say that you're going to have a limp if it manages to reduce you below 0 on this one.
I think I'm gonna have to give you a sky rim shot for that one, AJ.
All right, yeah. So that's what it does. We still have Andrew grabbed. It is going to take a bite at him. So that's an 18 to hit.
Yep, that hits me.
That is 20 points of damage.
Oh, ouch. Alright, it doesn't knock me unconscious, but I am now at 2 hit points.
Okay. So you've got your hand currently wedged on the top of its mouth, and your elbow is wedged in between two teeth down below, and it is trying to snap your arm in half as its jaws are clamping down, Bantha style. Is it Bantha?
Ouch.
What's that big thing that tries to chew up Luke Skywalker?
Rancor.
Rancor style. Rancor style. And last but not least, and one of them will make a rope attack at Jaren.
Okay.
And you are now wrapped up in a tendril.
Yet again, my arm's still crossed. I tried to hide, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
It's like
They've got a
is
good.
it?
This is
Is
the
it
one that. This is the one that is grappling. Was grappling Paul.
Oh, okay.
So it's got although it's got a gin trap across its eye, it still sees you. Okay, that's them. Matt, what are you gonna do? Apart from scream in pain.
Am I at 0 hit points? Or just at 1? Did it attack again, or?
Oh no, you're just at 1.
Okay, I'm still at 1?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I'm going to use this turn to the very fullest. Okay, so I'm going to do a kick up, so I'm going to flip onto my feet, and I'm just bleeding from everywhere at this point. I've been chewed on. Mm-hmm. And I reach back, and I bring out both butterfly swords and do a twirl on the crossguard as I bring them out, and I do like a whirling dervish thing, and I'm just going to take every attack I can against these guys.
Wow.
Against the roper in front of me. So first attack is an 11. Second attack is an 18.
Their armor class is 20. Natural armor class is 20.
Okay, so that's my 2 attacks. I'm going to spend a key point to use Flurry of Blows and make 2 unarmed attacks.
Alright.
That's a 19. Damn it. Come on. 15. So I make a big show of flipping up off the ground and drawing my blades, and I'm like, slash, slash, roundhouse kick, kick, and I just don't hit anything. Like as I'm attacking, blood is just spraying off of me. Like I'm clearly just about to drop to the sand dead, but I'm just refusing to give up.
Yep, you're doing that whole, Viking with arrows piercing every bit of him, raging and swinging his weapons around.
I am Boromiring so hard right now.
Right.
He looks like that Capoeira guy that got knocked out by the Marine in that video.
He just punted right in the head.
Yeah.
Okay, Andrew, what are you going to do?
Alright, I am going to look up at this thing while it's basically got me pinned in its mouth, and I'm going to say, John, I'm sorry. And I'm going to hit him with my Fist of the Four Thunders and expend a thunder wave in its mouth, which I hope pops the bastard's ears or makes goo come out of its eye or something.
Holy crap!
As its teeth saw you in half.
Alright, this is going to be an automatic critical.
Oh, shit. This also uses the rest of my ki, so I am a monk without ki after this.
Right.
Better to have no ki than to have no life.
It's okay, you've got a rogue in the party.
Don't we have
man,
2?
okay.
Yep.
So that does... I rolled 28 thunder damage, and he has to make a Constitution saving throw DC 14.
He's got disadvantage on this because you're doing it right in his mouth. He fails. He would have rolled.
Okay. So 28 thunder damage. It also throws him 10 feet away from me, and it emits a thunderous boom audible for 300 feet. And I'm doing it point blank on him.
So you get to roll the damage twice with a critical.
Alright. Yeah, so that I did. I took that into account for the 28.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yep, I did.
So that hurts him so bad, you are covered in a wave of vicious, sticky, black, acidic vomit as he pounds backwards, flying through the air, and the contents of its stomach reaches up and plumes onto you like a jet-propelled ink spray. And it lands some distance away, letting go of Paul. And you.
But at this point, seeing his explosive action, his explosive attack, I'm going to try to saw off some of my 50-foot rope that was attached to the to this trap, and with it, I would like to try and lasso Vrak and pull him over towards me and my items, as I have a healer's kit ready to go.
You are currently both ungrappled, so you can just race over there if you want. He's not actually that far away from you.
I prefer him to be as far away from the ropers as possible.
Okay, so make a d20 roll.
Do I add a modifier?
Yeah, add your proficiency bonus.
Okay. 17.
So you managed to lasso around his arm as he's raising it up in the air to slash down, and you jerk him sideways. He pinwheels around unexpectedly, and it lands on the ground, and you drag him across with your feet sort of planted in the ground, pulling the rope over top of you and pulling over towards you. You have a very angry fish on the end of your line.
Excellent.
A fish with 1 hit point left.
Yeah. So he's making lots of angry noises.
Before he gets to speak, I'd just like to grab like I don't know. I guess it'd be like a thin knife that comes along the side of this, and just jam it right into one of his wounds. Try to pry off some of the excess, clean out the wound, stash some gauze in there without a word being said. Just try to mend his wounds.
Nice. So you slap an ox dung poultice over top of his wound, and apply leeches to various parts. nice big fat bloodbath jungle leeches. Which
all the while I'm thrashing around and swearing in Draconic, and just my swords are just flashing left and right. I'm trying to get back to the roper to try and finish it off.
Yeah. You feel the evil humors leave your body as the leeches do their work.
Now,
Praise be to the blessed leeches.
you gain 9 plus your max hit dice in health.
Okay, so essentially 9 plus my level I get in...
Yes.
Okay, awesome. That helps a lot. So that puts me back up to 16 HP. Thank you.
Excellent.
So.
The leeches fall away, their job done, and sizzle on the burning sands. Excellent. Where are we?
Well, we just did Matt. Okay. Yep. So I'm being grappled right now, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I'd like to use my movement action to try to break free.
Okay.
That would be. Is there a bonus to that? What kind of check is that?
It is I think you get a disadvantage on a strength check, DC 15 to escape.
Disadvantage on a strength check, DC 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
Strength checks and saving throws.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you can use Dex or Strength on a grapple check, right?
Right. I didn't know it was disadvantage. I didn't think we did disadvantage the last time.
Yeah. Let's ignore disadvantage. That's boring.
No, I did. I was wondering, did you want disadvantage? Because I already made my roll, and then
What
I
did
can
you roll?
re-roll it. I rolled a 17.
Oh, you're fine. Okay. So you escape.
Okay. I was like, I'll do disadvantage. Okay. I'll use. What am I saying? Is this the same Wrangler that grappled our good friend Andrew, our good monk friend over here?
Yeah.
seeing this, let's see. It's not distracted at this point. There's no way that it would be. No. You're like, no. Although it did just get blown up from the inside. Is he still in its mouth?
No.
So he got sped out? Or
Yeah, he's on the ground, surrounded by Ghostbuster-like slime, and this thing has landed some distance away in a plume of smoke.
Okay, I'd like to use my bonus action, get out a... kind of dash to him, and then also hand him my healing potion that I had.
Sure.
Sweet. That's the only one I have, but I was like,
This is all I have. It's for you. You're gonna need it more than me, honey. You look like one of my girls after a bad night.
So this is a flask in the shape of a sacred mushroom.
it has a viscous red liquid in it.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly how much health it is.
So can I drink that right when he gives it to me?
Yeah.
All right, I imbibe that, and I just say, "Thank you, sir. The winds bode well for me now."
Whatever you say, Dollface, but you know I'm a girl, right?
You're a woman. No.
It's hard to tell with those dwarves.
Okay. So I regained 9. Still doesn't put me very high though.
Healing potions 2d4 plus 2 hit points.
Oh, it's not your con. It doesn't take your con.
No.
Oh, it's just 2d4. Okay, sorry.
2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2.
5. Yeah, it's 7 then. Yeah, so it takes me to 9.
You notice that you have an itching sensation on your scalp as your hair regrows a little bit. You have a fine stubble of hair on your scalp now. It is
If only it was real.
It's a dwarven healing potion from the Roganus mushroom variety.
Sorry, Andrew, I had to.
Yeah, I put my hands through my newfound greasy locks.
Nice. Okay, Juice.
What's
you are
the
unraveled.
scene look like? Yeah, what's the scene look like?
Chaos. There's the smell of bile from one of these things wafting through the air. There is dust from this thing landing nearby. There is flailing tentacles going around the place, and just general mayhem.
And there's 2 ropers, correct?
There are 3 ropers.
Okay. That are all standing still. They're still going straight.
No, 2 of them are prone. One of them is
Okay.
still standing.
The one that had Andrew, does that one look like it's still alive?
Yeah.
Alright. I think I'm going to put an arrow in it.
Okay.
It's prone, so I get advantage, which for me is an automatic crit, I think, as an assassin. Is that correct, guys?
That's correct.
Okay, so then automatic crit is with an arrow. Do I roll my sneak attack damage twice, or no?
Oh, sorry. It's just sneak attack. I don't think it's an automatic crit.
It's not when it's prone. And because I'd also have advantage because it technically doesn't see me. Sorry, I don't know. I should have brushed up on this.
We'll go along. Go ahead and give it an
It's
automatic
surprised
crit.
enemies. It's blah. Sorry, I accidentally muted my mic. Surprised enemies get crit. You get advantage and sneak attack against prone.
Yeah.
So, okay. So just roll my regular damage twice, then add the sneak attack. Is that right? Chepe? Or whoever?
Well, you
I rolled
didn't
a
crit.
6 first.
You didn't
Oh,
crit.
okay. Oh, okay. Never mind then. Alright, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points of damage.
Okay. Okay. It's looking pretty hurt. Actually, that one and the one that got the thunder wave in the face are looking pretty bad. The one that's still standing is looking okay.
But I'm gonna hide with my bonus action.
Okay. Another puff of smoke. All right. Good news, everyone. It's time for the monsters to attack again. The one that has had its teeth blown out and is lying with drool, its bubbling drool coming out of its mouth on the sand, is currently stunned and has lost its move.
It was a crit. Sorry.
Oh, was it
never
crit?
mind. Never mind. Go ahead. You're okay. Don't worry about it.
So the one that has got the gin trap on its face managed to regain its feet. So it's now standing back up again. And it has acquired a taste for Dragonborn, so it's making another tendril attack. And misses with a roll of a 3. Oh, you lucky man. Karma must be with you, due to your kind dealings with the rust monsters.
I wouldn't be very accurate either if I was, in a trap for like 3 rounds.
Big distraction. Nice. And the last one makes another attack at the dwarf. And rolls a 3 again. Well, Ed, your dice definitely are interesting. So the rust monsters managed to do pretty much jack. Matt, time for some payback.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, so two of the ropers are prone, and the third is still standing.
Mm-hmm.
Which?
Oh, sorry. One of them is prone. That's one with its teeth blown out. The other 2 are now both standing. Gin trap and normal one.
With a cursory glance at the 3 of them, am I able to tell which one is the most worse off?
Yes, the one that's been blasted in the face with a thunder wave is worst off. But the one with the gin trap and the one that's been thunder waved are actually pretty bad. One serious assault will probably kill it. So
I stand up from being quickly operated on, and I'm gonna grab the spear from its place on my back. I'm gonna heft it, and I'm gonna try to chuck this spear into the eye of the one that Ling blasted with his thunder wave.
Nice.
So here we go.
That's an advantage, right? Because it's prone.
And I just got a...
Not with a ranged attack.
Well, it doesn't matter. I got a 26 to hit.
Nice.
So let me roll damage for that. Oh, yes, 10 damage.
Awesome.
And then... So, am I able to attack, move, and then continue my attack if I get 2 attacks? Is that doable?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, cool. So I throw my spear, and then I'm going to... I'm basically going to follow behind my spear as I've thrown it. So I'm just like running right behind the spear, and as the spear hits this thing in the eye, I'm pulling out one of my short swords, and I'm going to try to drive it into the massive flesh of this thing. Ooh. And that is a 22 to hit.
Hits.
11 damage.
It is dead.
Yes. So I run up and I drive my short sword into this thing, and I basically just gut it. I just bring my short sword up through it, and gut and viscera are just spewing out all over me, and I'm just driving my sword deeper into it as it dies.
So as you drive your sword up and its entrails come spewing out, you puncture it into its expansive gullet, and a cultist rolls out, unconscious but still alive, on the ground.
Found one, guys.
Nice.
I sort of catch him in my arms as he slides out, like,
Yeah, he's currently out to it. He's unconscious, as anyone.
Okay.
My God, I hope they would be. Andrew.
Okay, how close are these the other two ropers to each other?
They're within about 15 feet of each other.
Okay, and how close in proximity to other people in the party? Like, could I basically get within range of them without getting within range of the other people for sleep.
No.
Uh-oh. Alright, what I'm going to do then, I'm going to take the one that looks the most heavily wounded, and I'm going to run in and go for a attack with my quarterstaff.
Sure.
Okay, so attack 1, that's going to be a miss. The second attack will be a 21 versus AC.
Hits. It is
Okay.
currently, it's got the gin trap on its face.
Oh, okay, nice. Alright, so that one does 9 points of bludgeoning damage. And then for my bonus action, I'm going to use my unarmed strike,
Okay.
which will do an additional 5 points of damage.
It is... Dun, 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 dun. Dead.
Nice, so I come down on it with my staff. As it reels back, I then take my hand back like this, and I do an Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom, and I go into the eye and just pull out Icker and fling it back all over the woods.
Kalima Kunde.
And as it crumples, like a light breeze just blows by, and you can hear the chimes on my staff.
Excellent. So you rip out its eye, and it's quite extensive, the goo that comes out of this thing, as its neural bundles are all attached to this eye, so you're actually pulling out its brain at the same time. And yeah, it twitches and dies. The last roper. The last roper. Paul.
So after witnessing this insane battle that just cropped up out of nowhere and performing surgery in the middle of the desert, I'm going to stand up on one knee, unsheathing my blade, and then run towards this last roper, aiming to make a jump, spin the blade, and go for a stab at its eye if its eye is shown.
Sure.
Now, I actually forgot about a couple things. I have Lucky and Savage Attacker.
Oh, yeah.
So I would like to use 1 luck point, regardless of what I roll here. And I got a crit.
Yay!
So, and Savage Attack. It's 11, and so 13 damage. That's for the first attack.
Okay.
And at that point, I would like to take my blade and run it. If it's injected into its eye, try to just slice along the side of the eye and just rip right through the muscle tissue, cartilage, just everything that's there. Yeah.
It's still got fairly hefty hit points, so you're not going to do serious disabling damage at this point.
So I'm going to try.
Okay.
Crit fail.
Ah. So 13 damage total?
Yeah. Yep.
Alright.
Slashing.
Slashing, yeah. Slash riff there. Okay. Chippy, you are... Were you grappled? You are grappled.
No, I got out of it. Remember?
Oh, you got out of
last
it.
turn? Yeah, I spent my last turn getting out of the grapple and then giving Andrew my potion.
Okay.
So there's only 1 Wrangler left? Or is there 2
Yeah.
left?
1.
1. What's it doing?
It is...
It was attacked by Pole. It was attacked by this warrior, this tribal warrior. Is it reacting?
It's screaming out in torment and is going into a berserk rage as it sees its 2 family members fall. and is realizing that it's probably reached its last day on this wretched desert.
Did it utter any words like the other one did when it was on fire?
No, it's remained reticent.
Okay. Let's see. I would like to... I don't think a stealth action would actually work in this case. It's not really distracted. I would like to just shoot an arrow. Is that alright?
Yep.
And that is not going to hit.
No!
So I will use my bonus action and try to disengage and dash back a bit.
Okay. So you shuffle backwards in the sand, and your back comes up against the side of your two leg.
Who's back there?
Yeah. And E-leg is on the back of the two leg going, back, 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 I said, as he kicks frantically at the side of it. Alright. Juice.
Alright, so there is still one roper left, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to sneak up around and jump down on him with my short sword and rapier if I can draw both of those out.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm going to drop down with both of them since they're both piercing.
Mm-hmm. This
And
is
attack.
a sneak attack because it cannot see you.
Yes. Alright, oh, I should roll the hit.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, blue is rapier, red is short sword. I'm going to hit with both, I believe. 25 and 15. Or not 15, 22.
Yep.
Because I'd still get my weapon to hit bonus, right? With the
Yep.
offhand? Okay.
Yep.
So then, yeah, 25 and 22. Alright. Boom. Oh, snap. That's a high number. 19. Plus the rapier's damage. 28 points of damage.
Oof. Cool. Ooh.
How big are ropers?
They're pretty big. They are large, so they're about, I don't know, 8 to 10 feet tall.
Big enough to pass for petrified trees.
Yeah.
Okay, so I imagine it like I come down with both of them, and as I hit it, my swords kind of stick, and my feet touch the ground, and I'm barely able to hang on to my swords up top. So I'm going to let go of my swords if it seems like it didn't drop, and I'm going to, as a bonus action, disengage and move back for the rest of my movement.
Sure. Okay. You are disengaged. So Chippe, and you are disengaged. Moving around my little markers. Alright. The monster still has a taste for dwarf. The dwarf has rapidly retreated, and who's close at this point? I believe Aondar's pretty close.
And I think I would be pretty close too. I just dropped the second roper, so.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll
I
make a
just
50.
straight up attacked the last one, so.
Yeah. So we'll make a 50-50 here.
Not that I'm offering myself up for attack or anything. But...
Well, the dice is chosen anyway, Matt. So it's gonna make an attack. Ooh.
Oh no.
It's not a critical.
Oh, good. That's a lot of dice, man. That's a fistful of dice. Oh! See, I'm not the only one that can name drop Juice.
Oh.
By the way, go join the Tabletop RPG one-shot group.
By the way, go check out A Fistful of Dice and its blog and its website and everything else.
That's what I'm talking
So
about.
that's 25 points of damage, Matt.
I drop. I'm down again.
Oh. Well, you don't technically drop. It has got you like a chicken wing right now.
I am limp in its tentacle. I have dropped my short sword, and I'm just being lifted, giving no resistance, completely unconscious.
So it's going at you like a corn cob, turning you slightly as it masticates along your torso. And, yeah, it's looking bad.
Help!
Help! Andrew! Save him!
Alright, man. I am going to turn and jet full speed right at that maw and try to pull him out of its mouth and get away.
Best of luck, man.
If the monks go down, they go down together.
Yes, monk solidarity.
You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us.
Alright, man, what do you want for the check?
We're going to need an attack roll.
Okay, that's going to be 25.
That hits. So give me some damage on the roper, and then it'll be basically an assisted grapple. So you're going to be rolling the grapple for Matt.
Oh, okay. Cool. Alright, the damage on the roper is 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
Nice.
Alright, and then I'm doing a grappling roll, so that's opposed strength athletics.
Oh, you're just basically rolling over a 15.
Just roll over 15? Okay. Oh, easily. 19 on the die.
So you literally rip Matt free.
I carry him over my shoulder, not princess style. Just saying.
Right. So you land nearby, pretty much right adjacent to this thing, and yeah, he's in a bad way. He's coughing up blood and clutching his insides inside himself.
I just say, "Hang on, Vrak," and get as far away from it as I can.
Okay, so you retreat.
Yep. Expeditiously.
Disengaging. Paul.
Indeed.
Would I be able to tell how injured this particular roper is?
It looks severely injured.
Well, after seeing what it did to one of my comrades, I'm going to jump down from the eye, unsheathing my blade, and then enter the maw of the creature, trying to hold up its maw while using Thunder Wave.
Okay.
So another Thunder Wave on one of these ropers.
Okay.
Would you like me to roll to hit?
Do you need to roll to hit for that, or is it just against your DC?
It is... Yeah, it's a Constitution saving throw. So you would actually need to...
It fails! It has failed.
Okay. So that will be 2d8 thunder damage. And I'm going to use Savage Attack. So that is 8 thunder damage. It is pushed 10 feet away from me. On a successful saving throw, they take half. And there's a loud audible boom after just lighting this creature up.
Nice. So its eye pops out of its head, and there is a crack, and brain juice starts leaking out from around its cranial cavity.
Nice.
and it slowly slumps to the side with it, and bits of Matt's character's flesh ooze out with the blood from its jaw.
Yeah, can you grab those, Paul? I'm gonna need those in a second.
Sure.
Yeah, grafting.
All right, sure. Grab them.
Sure.
I'll try to mend those back by expending two uses of the healer's kit.
Yep. So you wash them off with a bit of water and slap them into place.
Perfect. That's all I need. Just put a band-aid. Just put them back and then band-aid. I'm good to go.
Yeah, wrap them
Duct
up in
tape. Duct tape solves everything.
yeah, wrap him
Yeah.
in some cat gut, and he's okay. Meanwhile, not too far away, the similar scene has played out with the cultists. I can't believe you guys are mentioning a person who I will not mention in the side chat.
I don't know how that conversation started.
It's my fault. It always is.
Juice did it.
Juice.
Blame me.
Juice gets disadvantage in the next roll.
Do I get like negative inspiration?
Your negative inspiration.
We'll call it shame.
You're like, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, shame roll. Go to the shame hole.
I'll take it.
Okay. So, you guys hear the same sort of situation playing out amongst the cultists nearby. Of course, they're vastly superior in numbers, and they manage to leave behind a large number sacrificially, who get savagely chewed to death and sucked dry by the ropers, who are further on in this petrified forest. The rest of them make their way on.
What happened to the guy that got spat out that landed in Matt's arms?
Well, he's still there, unconscious on the ground, breathing steadily.
Can I go over to him and make an investigation, see what I can
Yeah,
find
you
on
can
this person?
You can easily kill him right now.
I'm gonna start to meditate.
I'm just gonna walk over, pick him up by the scruff of his shirt, and just yell at him, "Where are you going?"
So his shirt, partially dissolved from stomach acid, comes away in your hand. He slumps back down to the dirt, knocks his head, his eyes flicker open, and he says,
Crit intimidate if there's an intimidate check.
Trust me, he's intimidated by life right now. So, somewhat amazed to be alive, he looks around wildly, sees the dead ropers and you looming over top of him. He looks at your slaver garb and breathes a sigh of relief. Thank you for saving me, brother. What did you say?
Where are you going? Where is the cult going?
We are going to the grand ceremony in the City of Glass. Do you follow us?
Yes, but what trails are you taking? I guess that would bring it into...
Directly there, it is past the red rocks, over the hills of sacrifice, and there we will plunge into this heart of glass.
I'd like to execute him now.
I want it. Yeah, you're okay. Go ahead.
Curb stomp.
No, my friend, don't. Killing him will only be killing yourself.
Done. It's already done.
Yeah. He looks surprised as your blade passes through his neck. He clutches feebly at the liquid flowing down his chest, and then his head slumps back, unsupported by tendons. It lolls around on the back of his neck.
We know where they're going now. Well...
So I'm sort of slumped on the sand, catching my breath, just bleeding from everywhere after having been patched up, and I kind of look away as you slit this guy's throat, and I say, "We already knew we were going to the City of Glass."
But now
I turned
we know the red rocks just beyond. Follow the red rocks.
I know how to get to the City of Glass. I could have told you how to get there.
Well, then why aren't we there already?
I turn to the group.
and I kind of
sorry.
stand up, still with my arm on my gut, trying to keep my my guts from spilling out. And I say, well, we were waylaid, weren't we?
So as this is going on, I'm picking up arrows of mine that I've shot around, and I turn to the group and I say, "So that was pretty routine, wasn't it?" I'm putting them back in my quiver, like it was nothing.
I just give you this withering look, just like, oh, don't.
I just I look at Andar and I say, "There's nothing routine about taking a life."
You really don't know who I am, then. What I do.
The question, my friend, is do you know yourself?
The wind shot.
The wind chimes, yeah. Awesome. That would probably end it. Can't be topped.
Okay.
Are wranglers poisonous by any chance?
What?
Would any of these wranglers be poisonous at any point? Would it be recognizable?
They are not poisonous.
Okay. Just had to ask.
They're not natural creatures. They're classed as monstrosities, which means they're a naturalized otherworldly beast.
I turn to Rack and I say, "Those swords are pretty impressive."
They were given to me by my order. They, unfortunately, didn't do much against these foul creatures. And I'm sort of wiping the viscera off of them, and I sheathe them. And I walk up to my spear, which is still sticking out of the dead roper's eye, and I sort of pull it out, wipe that off too, and I lean on it like a staff, sort of supporting my weight. And I look to the.
You limp over with a perforated knee.
Yeah, I'm limping hard, and I look to my comrades and I say, my mission takes me to the city of glass, as does yours, but I fear, in my current state, I will only slow you down.
AJ?
Mm-hmm.
Can I see, looking down, because it was obvious that the cultists were ahead of us and they had stuff, can I see more activity down toward the City of Glass? Like this same kind of thing still going on?
Sure. What was that? You investigate the body of the dead cultist. Why, he happens to have a couple of healing potions. What do you know?
Weird.
How convenient.
I toss one over to our dragonborn friend.
There you go,
I-
dear.
Would this be considered a short rest, AJ?
Yes, it would.
Alright,
Oh.
I'm using some hit dice.
Thank God. How many hit dice can we use?
As many as you wish.
Oh, yes. Okay. Well, I'm gonna do that before I drink the potion.
Jaren, while they're busy resting, because it's like a 2 or 3 hour thing, right? A short rest?
It's an hour.
It's an hour.
It's an hour. So while they're resting, Jaren would like to roll a stealth, kind of move forward and investigate the tracks a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. You guys can hear the ropers nearby, having finished eating the... it takes them about 20 minutes to suck the dead cultists dry. And then they shuffle together and have a little conversation amongst themselves.
Before that happens, can I try to steal somebody's trinket out of their pocket or bag or something?
Yes, you may.
All right.
I would like to put a reaction on that just in case anyone tries to pilfer my trinket. That
I'm focusing on Matt.
What the hell?
I didn't know you were a Kender juice. I thought you were a freaking elf.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
Let's see. 7 with my bonus. Or no, 8
7?
with my bonus.
So do I roll something against that, or is it just my passive?
That would be your passive.
Okay, so I still see you. So I feel you like reach into my pouch, and like quick as lightning, my monk reflexes kick in, and I grab your hand and like wrap it so I have it, and I pull you kind of close, and I say, and I just shake my head twice and kind of shove you away from me.
I was just trying to make sure you were legit. That's all. I'm sorry. Whoa.
Elemental attunement, smoke comes out of my nostrils, and you see like brief fire kind of flash in my eyes, and I just kind of continue shaking my head towards you just wordlessly.
How do you pronounce it? Is it cloaca? Cloaca? That's the word.
Witnessing this exchange, I scoff, and I say, "Truly, elf, you would trade your honor for a handful of stolen rice."
Oh my! Oh my God! Awesome.
I kind of hang my head in shame and just go off in my own area.
Let's call him Fang Fortune Cookie.
So,
And all I can do is think about how I purposely did not go for the half-elf because I felt sorry for him, since he wasn't a full elf.
Well, we do have something in common, but like I said earlier, it's my worst half.
So,
So I have patched myself up pretty good during our short rest. So I kind of make a rudimentary splint for my leg and bandage up the worst of my wounds. So I'm still looking a little battered, but definitely drinking some water, bandaging myself up. I'm looking reinvigorated.
cool. Jaren hears the following.
What is this thing? I think it is a flask of some kind. It is magical, yes. I will store it in my gullet for later.
so all the Wranglers are in one area, vicinity?
Yes, they are. Aonda, you feel the magic of your hand strongly.
Okay. Can I hear a whisper, an echoing whisper of a faint woman in my ear that may be coming from the lamp on my belt?
The lamp on your belt is empty, remember?
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
All right. So definitely remark this, but that's about it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Which means they're all off to the side at this point, because they're distracted talking to each other, right?
Yeah,
they're not
they're having
in between us and the City of Glass.
No, they're having a little end moot after finishing their lucky meal.
Mm-hmm.
And discussing the things that they've taken from the cultists' bodies.
So I sneak back.
For the audience at home, a object which is essential for Aonda's functioning of his hand is now currently being swallowed by one of the ropers.
Okay.
Back to you, adventurers.
Now I got it. All right.
Okay.
I want to shoot a
Go
roper.
ahead.
You're gonna shoot a roper.
Are you even there? Did you sneak with me and behind me?
I disappeared.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah, no,
Disappeared. It was in the dust.
he possibly is maybe anywhere. He's doing a Schrodinger's stealth check. It's both there and not there at the same time.
22 on my stealth.
Nice. You happen to be right there.
Wait, we're both assassins, aren't we?
Yeah.
But that's all of the Wranglers, though. I would probably just stay hidden because that's suicide.
They're all
That's
in a
like
tightly
40
bunched up circle of about 10 feet in radius, and they're all standing face to face looking each other in the eye.
That's like
Wait,
20
nothing.
Wranglers, right? That's like 20 Wranglers, isn't it?
No, there's only 5.
There's only 5. Okay, that's better.
Juice, you should try and pickpocket the ropers.
So, like, pick their teeth?
Yeah.
I don't even know how that would work.
I don't know either.
I make my way back to the group.
I'm not. I'm considering trying to pick these things off and hide and pick them off some more, maybe. How far away are they, roughly?
Well, you guys are up ahead of the party by about 30 feet or so.
Oh, that's it. Okay. Let's
They're
see.
not far
'Cause
off. They move really slowly, though.
I'm trying to think. Maybe I flank. Can I flank around to the side quite a bit? Maybe 320 feet to the other direction.
Sorry, I was distracted by that comment. What are you doing?
I want to, like, okay, so if this is the area, the players are here, the ropers are here, I want to go over here.
Okay.
Maybe 200 feet away.
You are outside of the forest now.
That's fine. Can I still see the ropers? Like, I just want to go far enough where I can still see and shoot them and get them to come to the side.
Okay, sure.
Awesome. And technically, I'm a sharpshooter, so I'm not at disadvantage. So, yeah, I'm going to shoot. Oh, yeah, I'm going to hit. 23.
Nice. Now, how far exactly away are you?
I said 200 feet, but my range is 320.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fine.
And then, so that would be sneak attack damage as well. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 22.
They were surprised you automatically crit, right?
Oh! Okay, yeah. Because they didn't have a turn, so I would automatically crit. So do I roll the sneak attack damage again as well?
Yeah.
Alright, so that was 22. Let's do this again. Oh, bad rolls. 28, 29, 30, 32. 35 points.
Okay, so you shoot a roper directly in the equivalent of its ass.
Yeah.
And it goes, "Whoa!" And all of the rest of them are like, what? And they turn around to look in your general direction, and they start to move because you are outside of the range of their tentacles, away from you. They have no interest in fighting you now.
Okay, okay. Then I want to, as a bonus action and my movement, dash forward.
Okay. So you move in as they start to they start to interpose the forests from you.
Awesome.
For the audience at home, we're referring to a previous game in the comments here, which has humorous impact on this current situation. But we won't talk about it. Right.
Awesome teaser.
We shall not speak of the incident.
Gaming etiquette requires us to remain silent.
That'll be
Nice.
bonus footage. You can find it on Juice's channel or the Tabletop RPG one-shot group.
Yeah, there you go. Wait for a live chat.
Okay. There is Juice. You're off to the side, and you can see that the cultists have regrouped somewhat up a blood-red rock outcrop, not too far away. And as the moons move into conjunction above them, there is a flash of light, and you can hear on the breeze a deep droning chant coming from them. Then there is a scream, a flash of light, and you see one of the cultists in silhouette torn asunder as something comes barreling out from inside of him, vastly larger than he was himself, and immediately starts darting down the side of the rock, leaving behind a molten trail of melted rock behind itself as a large lizard-like creature, kind of like a frilly snake-like humanoid torso on a snake body, comes darting down, and you see that it's carrying a a glowing red-hot metal spear, and it is heading directly into the forest of stone trees.
So it's heading towards the party then.
It's heading towards the ropers.
Ooh. Well then, I think I'm going to try and get back to the group and let them know what I see. But I want to try and keep a lookout for this thing as well, so it's to see if it notices me. So maybe I'll stay stealth. Let me roll stealth to sneak in there. 19.
No problem. So you veer off as you dodge back into the trees and make it to the party really quickly. And they hear a voice in the darkness. Actually, it's not dark. Sorry, it's not dark at all.
I let myself be seen. Okay. I let myself be seen. Guys, I saw a snake creature with a spear going after those ropers, but it wasn't always a snake creature. It started as a cultist. We need to get up and go.
Agreed. The longer we stay here, the more danger we're in.
I get up feeling fairly refreshed, my chimes blowing in the wind, and I'm ready to go.
Can you knock those chimes off? You're going to give away our position.
Oh, I want them to come.
Oh my gosh.
What else did you see?
There were 5 ropers in the distance running. Because I shot one. Yeah. I kind of take pride as I say that. Of course I shot one.
Don't feel sour if I don't believe you.
Oh, don't worry. We'll see it in a minute. Let's go. Let's go and track down the ropers. See what this thing does to him. If he looks like a formidable opponent, we do not attack. Well, you guys don't attack. I'll still attack. But I'll draw him off you guys.
Jaren, Elik comes up beside you with the tulik, jumps off somewhat awkwardly, and hands you the reins. Elandro and Elanish will insist that they leave immediately to you, Juice.
Wait, what happened? I'm sorry.
Oh, they're saying, Vladimir, we must leave. We must leave. The battle is done. Your heroism is secured. We must leave before this turns into slaughter.
I don't know. What does everybody else think?
Who cares what they think? We don't know them.
I think your henchmen are cowards.
I could have told you that. They barely know how to wield a bow.
Jaren's getting stuff out of her packs. Off the tulik.
I have this letter, and I pull it out of my bag and I give it to my three little lackeys, and I say, "Take this back home. You'll know what to do with it." And then I wish them a fair, safe trip. I want to see where this is headed, guys.
Jaren, since they're distracted, why don't we actually do the smart thing and go around? Actually sneak on the other side and actually get into the City of Glass, since that's what we're after. That's where the people I need to kill are.
Didn't we see that these things were eating these cultists? And you found something on their body. If there's another group of them, they could have... Wait, didn't we see them earlier fighting some of these cultists? Maybe they've dropped something. While we go around, we can gather supplies.
I'd rather be well-rested, well-equipped to kill, rather than following after things we can't.
I'm not one to turn away from a fight, but 3 of these things, well, made it difficult for us. I can't imagine what 5 plus some sort of serpent creature carrying a spear. I can't imagine what that would do to us.
You just need to be smart. Don't engage. Stay back. Hit and move.
You already killed attacked one of them already. How can we trust that you won't do it again?
You can't, because I will.
Jaren just like.
Unless you have a
shakes
better
their head.
idea.
I get up and I move my hand slowly and I say, I agree with Jaren. Grasp not at shadows or lose the substance. And I start walking around.
I love your character, Andrew.
Okay.
I start walking, especially heading in the direction toward where the Wranglers were, so I could actually do some
Yeah.
investigating on the scene of the bodies, see if there's anything left.
I would like to follow as well, seeing as we agreed.
Guys, I don't know if going back to that area is a good idea.
Continuing to follow.
I'm
So
heading
on the
towards
breeze,
rocks.
coming from where the ropers were, you can feel the heat and a smell of seared otherworldly flesh, and the shrieking of ropers being burned alive reaches your ears.
It seems as though the party has started without us.
That bastard stole my kills.
He's getting solo XP over there.
Here, I was
that-
hoping to earn a glorious name like Vladimir the Roper Slayer. Oh well.
If the rest of the group is moving off in that direction, I'll sort of fall into step behind him, and I'm gonna try to be as quiet and stealthy about it as possible, sort of keeping to the cover of the petrified trees if I can.
Jaren's definitely doing that as well. I mean, we may be heading away from where they're not, but we're still... we still don't know.
Away from where they're not. I love it.
Yeah, my guy's gonna do the same thing, the whole hiding thing.
Sure.
But I think that
So
goes without saying.
You come within sight of the slaughter. You find that all of the ropers are dead. They have been just dispatched by this creature without any effort, really. It's holding up its spear on its side, which you see is completely made out of metal, and as you watch, the thing is dripping with gore, and it simply holds it aloft, and heat radiates down the shaft of the spear from its body, and the spear erupts into flame as it burns off the organic material and then plunges it into the sand and shakes it around. Looks up and inspects it. Then you see a large ear on the side of the creature. What is that noise? Is it you, Paul? Oh, there we go. So you hear, it perks an ear up and listens. Although it can't hear, it seems to sense somebody is moving around.
My chimes are probably going off, in all honesty.
Yeah.
Are there cultists like anywhere in here, or are they? We just can't see them anymore? Because I was trying to investigate any bodies along the way.
Yeah, there's bodies of cultists scattered around this area. There's the dead ropers that didn't manage to move off very far, so they're all sort of clustered together. One of them does still have an arrow sticking out the side of it. And the salamander is nestled in the middle of them, with the flames licking off around the edges of their bodies, which is touching this thing. And it's looking around with eyes like hot coals, because it can sense that somebody is nearby, but it can't quite pinpoint where they are.
I would like to see if my arm reacts or my hand reacts with the magical spark that it had before when I get closer to a certain area, or if I can see the jar in which my genie has been captured.
Yeah, interesting. It's you can't see the jar. It's not anywhere openly visible to you. Although there is some potions and other things and rudimentary simple weapons and things scattered around the place.
Can I make a stealth check to try to acquire some stuff from the nearest body?
Yeah.
As they are all doing this, I'm holding a small cloth doll, hiding and just poking it with needles in nervousness. Which obviously I know nobody can see this, but
Okay. Ooh. Hey, you're in luck. It can't detect you, so you can move in and grab something.
Okay. So I go to the nearest body, and I try to make my way over toward the body to the wrangler with the arrow.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're getting that close? I thought you were just going to grab something from an outlying cultist.
I'll do that instead. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you like to make... Your perception's actually quite low, so...
Mm-hmm. But I could make an investigation roll.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. 9.
Okay.
It's the worst investigation roll I've ever made.
Yeah, apparently these things have been eaten.
Finest of insights.
So you managed to grab a book, and inside the book is one page that doesn't appear to be part of the rest of the book. It's a page that's been put inside there. You haven't opened the book yet, I must add. It's been strapped closed. There is also 2 healing potions and a robe.
All right.
Everybody else, what are you doing?
I'm keeping cover in the rocks of the petrified trees here, and my eyes are just drawn to this creature of flame, and I'm sort of inexplicably drawn to it, and I can't really take my eyes off of it. I'm just watching it, and as its gaze is sweeping through the rocks, I'm still trying to maintain cover, but I'm also trying to get a better look at this thing and try and determine what manner of creature it is or where it comes from.
From a Dragonborn's point of view, this creature is undeniably angelic and beautiful looking.
Yeah.
It seems to embody the very rage you try to keep in check inside yourself. And as it looks around, you know that it's listening and looking, but it's also feeling vibrations in the ground, which is what has set off its wariness. It can feel the vibrations in the sand.
Am I far enough away from this creature that I could whisper to my comrades and have it not be able to hear me, or are we close enough where we're spitting distance from this thing?
You're pretty close, and it's got very large ears.
Yeah, so I sort of anyone who's near me, I kind of look to them and I sort of hold my hands up like this, like everyone just kind of stay where they are. And as I'm doing this, I notice that that Jaren is not there anymore, and I'm just like, shit.
Yeah, you can't quite see where he's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, she has gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
At this point, it's obvious that it's very fiery, right?
Oh yeah, you can feel the heat from this thing.
I'm assuming it's elemental. Jaren's going to assume. She doesn't know if it is, but she speaks primordial.
Yep.
And so she's going to take out her disguise kit from her back, and then she's going to clothe herself in the robe of one of the cultist robes, preparing herself in case she gets spotted to try to negotiate with what she thinks is an elemental.
Okay. Give me another stealth check there, because the motion that you're making.
Okay. 13.
Nice. Okay, it still can't see you.
Okay. I use my bonus action, kind of open up and look through the book a bit.
Okay.
What do I read? Anything? What do I see?
So as you open up the book and open, how are you? You need to be fairly specific here. How are you opening the book?
Okay. I'll use my thieves' tools and kind of break it open, because it's latched, right?
Oh, you can just unlash it. It's got some looks like leather wrapped around the outside of it. I just want to know how you're opening the books precisely.
How I'm opening the book precisely.
Yeah. Do you open it directly to the front page? Like, do you just pull back the cover and look at the front page?
No, knowing Jaren, she would open up like 3/4 back of the way through.
Does she open it to the loose page, or one of the other pages?
Probably the loose page, because it would be the most obvious.
Okay. So I need you to make a will saving throw.
I have a very bad wisdom.
So as you see the page, make a will saving throw, and the DC is 18.
7.
Okay. You have just read a page of names. The names burn themselves into your memory, and you reel back, blind and stunned, dropping the book in the sand as the page erupts into flame. The salamander then wheels around and sees you and rears back up with its spear in front of itself, but notices that you're wearing the robes of a cultist and does not attack.
Do I use my disguise kit?
Oh yeah, you're fine.
Okay. So I start uttering words in primordial, just whatever the names that were listed in my mind, whichever ones if I can comprehend them, at least start making similar noises.
Yeah, you can't speak these names. If you do, the teeth will blow from your head.
Gotcha. So I start speaking in primordial, merely here to serve, merely here to serve.
Okay. The creature says, speaking in Ignan.
Speaking in Ignan.
It does not understand you.
Well, noticing that Jaren is wrong.
Am I close enough to hear the salamander?
Oh yeah.
I speak Ignan.
Excellent.
I speak Common, Draconic, and Ignan.
Nice. So you hear this thing say, "I have completed the task, now free me."
I'm tense at this. I sort of tense as this thing is speaking, and it clearly notices Jaren, and I'm assuming I've noticed where Jaren is now too, since he's sort of dropped the book and has begun speaking. So, geez, I don't know what I do. I'm gonna sit with that information and wait to see how this plays out, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
No love. Jaren's just whispering under her smoke-fueled breath, trying to make it sound like she takes a bit of her pipe from under the robe and then tries to see if like smoke would come out of the fume of the hood to make it look as flamey as possible.
You feel around for it because you can't see a thing. You are blinded.
But it's on my person at least.
Oh yeah, yeah. So you fumble around for your pipe and feel for it, and it's still got a bit of heat to it.
So you just see
all-weather dwarf pipe.
You see the smoke coming out of the hood just gently, and all you see is my head bowed down, and you hear she stops saying primordial at this point because she knows she can't communicate with him.
Right.
Does it what? Sorry. I speak Sylvan. Can I understand any of this stuff?
No, not at all.
Okay, just checking.
It's about as close to the opposite of Sylvan as you can get.
Okay.
Seeing that Jarwin is obviously in distress and she's knelt completely helpless before this thing, I kind of throw the rest of my party a look, and I will step out from behind the petrified trees and come forward, and I'm going to use elemental attunement to have fire appear sort of in my hands and sort of wreathed around my head if I can. and I'll come forward, and in Ignan, which it's been a while since I've spoke Ignan, so it's a little rusty. It has a bit of an accented edge to it. I will say to the salamander, what do you require of us?
Somewhere far off in the distance, an injured rust monster lifts its head and its feelers twitch at the rustiness of your accent. The salamander listens to your Ignan and tilts its head to the side and says, "What was that?"
I said, what do you require of us?
Freedom. Are you one of the cultists?
And I look at Jarwin, and I look back to the salamander, and I say, no, I am not. I am a denizen of the plane that you are currently on. I am in tune with the element of fire. I can sense your power, and I have no qualm with you here. What is your affiliation with the cultists?
They summoned me. I noticed that you and this one did not have the wards and protections. It was curious. Now I appreciate your directness. I cannot free myself, but if you manage to release me from the will of the cultists, I will owe you one boon.
What would I need to roll or do to try and, as best I can, discern the motives of this thing? Does it seem like it's being genuine with me, or is it playing a game?
Well, yeah, that's an insight roll.
Okay.
Sorry.
18, not bad.
Awesome. So it's probably lying about owing you a boon.
Yeah.
It will depart the plane as soon as it is freed. But it doesn't seem to be overly hostile. It's a creature which is only interested in itself.
Right. So I say to it in Ignan, if I free you, you will leave the plane. You have no business here. Is that what you're telling me?
It looks around the landscape of sand and rock, and then back to you.
This plane is ugly and cold. There is nothing here that interests me.
And it appears to be telling the truth.
Then explain to me what I need to do, and I will send you home.
Their leader. You must find the leader, the one who sacrificed one of his own cult members in order to bring me forth through a blood portal. How they did this, I do not know.
So, what? Kill this cult leader and then you'll be free?
Kill them all. They are nothing but mortals. Lesser ones at that. Deranged. They are messing with powers that they should not. The balance between the planes is delicate.
I pretend to be a worshipper, since he's pretending to be like the fire-attuned being of this plane. I like bow down before, with like smoke still coming out of my hoodie.
Okay.
For a good Dragonborn friend, and then I ask him in common,
You mind getting him to kill all these cultists for us?
And I say out of the side of my mouth, I'm getting there. And I look to the salamander and I say, are you bound to these cultists, or would you be willing to lend your tremendous aid in our fight against them?
I cannot attack them directly. I was bound to kill these things, and I have done so. Now I find myself free to move. But I cannot revenge myself upon them.
I'm going to use my elemental attunement to make lightning crack behind Vrak on both sides.
Okay.
I sort of jump at this because I'm not expecting it. And then I
The
say,
salamander drops his spear.
I sort of catch on to what's happening here, and I say,
You got a worshiper, you got lightning, you got the whole effects.
I am the embodiment of the element of fire here on the material plane, and I implore you to give us whatever aid you are able in our quest to rid the world of this cult who has summoned you to a place you have no wish of staying in. Will you help us?
I will help you.
Good. And I turn and I say in common, I seem to have made a friend. You can come out now.
Huh?
Yes, I have many followers, a veritable army of people who will aid me in this quest as well.
All right.
I take the wind chimes off the end of my staff before I emerge and make myself smolder a little bit.
I'm still trying to huff as much smoke out of my hood as possible, waiting for hopefully this blindness to come off, if at all, ever.
I step
Jaren,
forward.
do not fret. Sometimes you must lose both of your eyes to truly see.
There is a word in Ignan which means when you stoke a fire and those little sparks come off it and float up in the plume of hot air. That word is what the Ignan then uses to describe your army. Lesser sparks.
And I say, yes, that is correct. They are my embers, so to speak.
You are generous with your underlings.
Yes, and as I speak of like underlings and armies, it's obvious that this attitude and this personality does not come naturally to me. But I'm trying as best I can to play the part, so to speak.
Yeah. You remember what your drill sergeant sounded like.
Yeah, exactly. I sort of think back to my military days, and I say in common to my friends, I've managed to strike a bargain of sorts with this creature. He has been summoned here against his will by the cultists, and he wishes the same thing we wish, for the cult to be brought to justice. He has offered to aid us as he can, however, he cannot harm the cultists directly.
Jaren, thinking about vengeance, was like, can he at least start a fire? Still bowing, still having smoke coming out, still trying, huffing under a breath.
Can he at least start a fire that we can run them into?
I look to the salamander and I say, what can you offer us? I require no boon of you. I require no favors. I merely wish for your help now in doing this. So what can you offer?
I have my nature and my magic. As long as the tasks you ask me, I am not aware of them being attacks against the cultists, then I can perform them. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand. You cannot knowingly attack a member of the cult.
Yes. Even to speak of it causes me great pain.
We can work around that.
Then ask of me what you will.
And at this point, I'd like to call a 5-minute break for everyone, and we'll come back in a minute.
Okay,
Perfect.
sounds good.
I am still here. Ha ha ha. Just kidding. I'm going right now too. I'll be back.
Oh, I'm ready to kill some cultists.
I can't. I died twice in that roper combat. That was ridiculous.
Oh, that's nasty.
I have yet to be dropped in a game, I think. Unless you count the meat grinder. But I didn't really drop. I just disappeared through annihilation.
The way I remember it, you got killed by 2 doors, Juice.
I did. Some other way I actually died, but you can't count a meat grinder.
I'm curious if this blindness is permanent.
That's a good
No,
question.
it's not.
Oh,
It's not
Okay.
permanent.
Oh, he was there? Crap, I'm dead.
No, I just got back, but it's all recorded, Juice.
Wonderful
AJ,
things were said.
I said in the chat, I think I'm going to be good for another about a half hour here, and then I got to bow out and go eat some dinner, so...
Sure. I think we might actually turn this into a 2-shot. Or
I was
possibly-
hoping you would say that.
Yeah, possibly a 3-shot.
Awesome, awesome.
If you want to keep it like right now, we could say this is the stopping point and actually have the cultist climax be the next one shot.
The cultist climax, yeah. I like it.
If you want it,
Alliterate
like
the side. That's pretty awesome.
we're at a good point for stopping. If you wanted to do that, that was really
How do you know, Chepe? Have you seen the DM's notes?
no. This just feels like a good time. My DM senses are tingling.
I just like to talk about the fact that I made friends with a salamander.
Yeah.
And I helped.
I was like,
Impressive.
I took Hermit as my background, and that gives you an extra language. And I was like, I don't really want to speak Elven or Gnomish or anything like that. And I was like, well, he's super into fire, so maybe he's learned Ignan from his monastery. So when you said he's speaking Ignan, I was like, no way. A language I took out of nowhere is actually going to come in handy.
In a one
Super
shot?
excited
awesome.
about that. In a one-shot game? Yeah, seriously, that's awesome.
That was awesome.
You won the lottery. Go buy a lottery ticket.
Now that's an achievement.
Yeah,
Unlocked.
seriously.
So, Paul, we've group decided that we're going to turn this into more than just a 1-shot game. It may be a 2 or a 3-shot game.
Yeah, if you want to, I'm up to it.
So this makes it a good. Yeah. So this makes a good natural stopping point for the game today.
I can't do it next Friday. I'll just say that right off the bat. I know I won't be able to.
Oh, okay. Well, me and the stairs, we got a deal. We got an arrangement.
Oh, did you tell them I fell down the stairs?
No.
Dude,
So-
did you at least have one of those buttons you could press so they could come help you up?
No. Okay, so get this. We came home last night.
and I can't get up.
I wish, because I was hurting. So we got home last night. Where were we? I don't know. We did something. We got home, and we went to a movie. The Polar Express was showing. Whatever. It was free, so we went to the movie theater, saw the Polar Express, and on the way home, me and my wife got to talking about something. We were kind of like bickering, like we always do. And then, so she was upstairs getting ready for bed, getting my daughter ready for bed, and she's like, oh, will you take the laundry downstairs? And I said, oh, yeah, that's fine. So I started taking it. I think she thought I was mad because all of a sudden I fell halfway down the stairs. She was upstairs, so she didn't see this, but I'm sure she heard me. I landed, went through the cold air duct, and broke it. Like the wood that holds it. The cold air duct's fine, but the wood that holds it busted through the floor. I landed on my right side, so my shoulder hurt, my hip, my back, my knee, like the whole right side of me just sucks today. And
Stooges right there.
oh yeah, dude, so I'm holding this thing like this, and I had my dress socks on, and we have carpeted stairs. And so my left foot slipped up like a banana peel, and I had to have been up in the air and just went bam, landed about 4 stairs down, and I was like, fuck. And this is like 5 seconds after she asked me to take the laundry out, so she probably thinks I'm pissed at her. So I was so angry, I couldn't even get up. It took me like a good 5 minutes to get up because I was like just stunned, and I had to pick up some clothes that ended up on the floor. And so she never came down, which normally she would at least come down for like 5 minutes. She didn't even come down, so she was mad at me. I stayed up, and at like 4 in the morning she comes out and she's like, are you coming to bed? And I was like, what? Why you look all pissed off? And she didn't know. My daughter, I told her, I said, oh, go tell mommy I fell down the stairs. She's like, okay. So she went and told her because I have a rug burn
Oh man.
like right there. So she told my daughter, "Oh, Daddy's got a boo-boo on his elbow." So she thought like I hit something or whatever. And yeah, so this morning when she's at work, I text her. I was like, "I am so sore today," and she's like, "What?" And I said, "I fell down the stairs last night. Why? What do you think?" You know. So, anyways, yeah.
Juice, I have to ask this question. Did your wife push you down the stairs?
Yes.
Is that what really happened?
Yeah.
You're in a
Because you
safe place, Juice.
You started it with my wife and I were bickering, and I'm like, oh no, is this going to take a dark turn?
You know, I don't even remember what we were bickering about. But yeah, no, she didn't push me.
Oh, okay.
No, I
That's
wish.
Disappointed voice. I wish. Oh.
I do. I wish it was that rather than me slipping and feeling like an idiot.
It's a
Yeah,
fine
thinks
difference between a push and a slap down the stairs.
Yeah. You broke your house falling down the stairs too.
I did. I'm gonna have to fix it now.
You're more mad about the money than the injury.
You know, I think I'm more mad that I slipped than hurting myself or breaking something. Like, I don't know. So today I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, what should I do? I could remove the carpet and then I could put those like texture strips down so I don't slip again. Like, I'm just thinking about all these different things. And then my wife's like, no, we're not doing that. I was like, all right, I hope I don't fall again.
Yeah, you need to go with Andrew's idea and get the life alert button.
Hell yeah, get the life alert button, or while your wife's at work, have him come in and run one of those rails up where it has the seat on it.
There we go. I'm gonna start a Kickstarter for that.
I'm picturing Juice riding it down the stairs like George Costanza style.
That should be one of your rewards on your Patreon, is a video of just you riding up and down on the side.
Dude, I would do a video of that. I'll make an advertisement for that company.
Oh my gosh.
Alrighty,
that'd be
guys.
funny.
Okay, so we will organise the next game at some point. I'll make an events page, or we can just carry on with the same events page and organise it for some later point. Doesn't have to be next week. Could be a couple of weeks. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty available in December, so
right.
surprisingly, because I think a lot of my other people in my home campaigns are not available. So.
Okay, Juice, I'm crossing you off the list of people who may be Santa.
How many
wanna
people are
do
left
that.
on that list? 6,999,000.
Yes.
Robin Williams.
Obviously not Santa.
Actually, Robin Williams is now Santa. He didn't die. He just retired to being.
Oh, okay. That makes me feel a lot better about the whole
And you'll never recognize him because he has to gain a bunch of weight for the role.
That's right. Like Tim Allen.
Literally the role. Like he like Santa has to roll, and that's
He's like the Dread Pirate Roberts.
yes.
That's awesome.
Okay,
In all
guys.
honesty, though, I'm happy with this group. Like, I never thought I would have all these people together in one group.
Yeah,
It's
we're
just
all awesome.
kind of, like, holy.
Yeah, we're awesome. Yeah.
Even though I was that guy and tried to
We're
pickpocket the party members.
You not only tried to pickpocket the party members, you tried to pickpocket the guy who's your DM in your other monthly game.
How to make it fun.
I'll just say I don't forget, Juice. Okay, I don't.
Well, that's good. Just remember it was only your trinket.
That's true.
Yeah, just remember it was that.
I might let.
Just
it slide
remember,
this
he's the only one that can speak Ignan, and you're not a cultist.
Yeah, my value in the group just shot up as soon as I realized that you guys realized I spoke Ignan.
I was thinking to myself midway through that fight there where Matt was getting really close to dead outright, and I was thinking, first one-shot game, playing a first game with Matt, and he's about to die in the first combat. Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I was thinking, I'm like, oh, this whole session was set up for Matt. That'd be great if he died early on.
I know, because I put the call out. I was like, I want to play D&D this Friday. Someone run D&D for me this Friday. And then I just die halfway through the session. That's perfect.
In the setting that you created yourself.
In the setting that I created, yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't have tried to save you. Dang.
Would have been poetic, man.
It would have been so funny.
Yeah.
So this is the City of Glass campaign, which has now become a campaign, or perhaps a mini campaign. Signing off. I'm going to go log out and go on a date.
Awesome. Good
Have
luck on the
fun.
date, man. I'm gonna go eat some dinner.
Wow, chicka, wow, wow. Wow, wow,
The date who is currently watching this broadcast.
wow. Wow. Wow.
It's okay.
Wow.
Jeffy's the king of making things awkward.
What?
Hey, have
That's
you
my
heard
shtick
of-
now? I thought I was niche. And now I'm the...
because you do that. You'll be like, "Hey, have you guys ever heard of this game called Hot Guys Making Out?" No.
No, Fox did
Awkward.
that. I only played
DM
along.
says,
And now I...
Technically, it was Fox. Technically.
I
Doesn't
know,
that
but
use,
it's more
doesn't
fun.
that use GURPS? Isn't that a GURPS system?
No.
Hot guys making out? No.
Nope.
originally.
I have no idea.
Gay
Alright.
universal sex play?
Okay, so I'm ending the broadcast now.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Later.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.